evening and welcome back to David Allen Memorial Ballpark for the third game of our triple header on day 2 of the Junior College World Series. We shift our attention to the losers bracket. I'm John Herrick, bringing you all the action for Chisholm Trail Broadcasting Sports on ESPN Radio 1390 KCRC, also online at ctbsports.com and on NJCAA.org. In our final matchup this evening, the two teams trying to keep their season alive will be the 3rd-ranked Lackawanna College Falcons and the 10th-ranked Grand Rapids Community College Raiders. Lackawanna comes into this meeting with a mark of 46-10 after a heartbreaking 6-5 loss yesterday in 10 innings at the hands of the Scottsdale Fighting Artichokes. They had a 4-1 lead in that game after the 4th inning before letting it slip away. The deciding run came in the top of the 10th inning when Devin Turner laid down a safety squeeze bunt, scoring Jake Bamrick from 3rd for the winning run as Scottsdale took the lead that they would not relinquish. As for their opponent, the Grand Rapids Community College Raiders, the Western Oklahoma State Pioneers only needed 7 innings to take care of them, beating them by a score of 9-1. We'll tell you a little bit more about them when we come back. It's the national anthem right now. You're listening to the NCAA Division II World Series presented by Advanced Pierre Foods. We just wrapped up the national anthem here at David Allen Memorial Ballpark as we get you ready for Lackawanna College to take on Grand Rapids Community College. Before the break, we were talking about Grand Rapids and their 9-1 loss at the hands of Western Oklahoma State yesterday. Marty Dunlap crushed the first pitch he saw over the right field wall for Oklahoma State to put the Pioneers up 9-1 and give them the win, putting the 8-run rule in effect after 7. Now, of course, it needs to be mentioned that Western Oklahoma State is the defending World Series champion, and they're ranked 6th in the country, so that loss to them by Grand Rapids doesn't look so bad when you consider those facts. These two teams are very different in terms of JUCO World Series history. This is Lackawanna's first ever World Series appearance, while Grand Rapids has been here a total of 10 times. And prior to this year, their last appearance came in 2008 when they were the runner-up. Their last national title came in 2005. So the main questions that will emerge about both of these teams is, will Lackawanna be able to rebound from their heartbreaking one-run loss yesterday, or will the Grand Rapids rediscover their past tournament swagger despite getting beaten down by the defending champs? Well, the coin toss was done just moments ago, and it was won by Grand Rapids Community College, so they will be the home team. And let's run you through your starting lineups first. Batting for the Lackawanna College batting for the Lackawanna College Falcons, it'll be leading off the first baseman, Chris Moles, followed by Mike Accardi, the center fielder, Levance Anderson, the right fielder, Matt Fry, the left fielder, will bat cleanup. Josh White is catching for Lackawanna and batting fifth. Tom Crimmy is the shortstop. He'll bat sixth. Cameron Johnson is the designated hitter. He'll bat seventh. Brandon Kolish is on the hot corner at third. He's eighth. And Fred Kelvin Reyes is the second baseman. He rounds out the batting order. Pitching for Lackawanna is Tyler Buckley. He has an ERA of 1.62, 9 wins to 1 defeat. And as for Grand Rapids, their starting lineup is made up of Jared Tyson batting first. He's the center fielder. Batting second, Carlos Baroa. He's the shortstop. Third is Brendan Bender, the designated hitter. Cleanup is Brian Portelli, the left fielder. Fifth is E.J. Grouchowalski. He's the first baseman. Ryan Manning is playing right field. He's batting sixth. Steve Ayala is second baseman. He's batting seventh. Tyler Duke is the catcher. He's batting eighth. And Mike Battistelli is the third baseman. He is batting ninth. Pitcher for Grand Rapids is Anthony Alarcone, and Anthony comes into this game with a 4.6 ERA and a 4-4 record. And Alarcone is on the mound, throws his first pitch of the game, and it is a strike right down the middle to Chris Moles. Next pitch to Moles is low and in the dirt and stopped by Tyler Duke. This, for those of you that are watching our online stream, this is going to be a particularly fun broadcast for me. Both of these teams are wearing blue jerseys. And when I say blue, I don't mean one's wearing light blue and one's wearing dark. They're both wearing dark blue jerseys as Moles rips that hit into left field for a base hit. He'll round first for the leadoff single. And that'll bring up Mike Accardi. Batting .365 on the season. Moles, by the way, .294 hitter. That'll help his average. And Accardi for Lackawanna also has 6 triples and 11 doubles, 65 hits as well. Alarcone for Grand Rapids, the left-handed pitcher, in a lefty-lefty situation right here. He throws ball 1 low and inside. Takes a couple of practice swings and digs back in. One difference between the blue jerseys is that Lackawanna's blue jerseys are white numbering and lettering, and Grand Rapids is yellow numbering and lettering. Alarcone checks the runner and fires and pitches that one low and in the dirt. And Accardi faked like he was going to bunt and backed off and took ball 2. Levance Anderson is in the on-deck circle for Lackawanna. Tough way for them to get here at this point as a strike is thrown on the outside corner to Accardi. Accardi will play center field for the Falcons in this game. Here's the 2-1. That one ripped over the third baseman's head. It'll bloop into left field for a single. So 2 at-bats and 2 singles for Lackawanna. And they have runners just like that on first and second with nobody out. And that will bring up Levance Anderson, who is batting .347 for Lackawanna. 8 doubles, 2 triples, and he has batted in 31 RBIs. He is tied for second on the team in that category. And he digs in as the right-hander. Hopefully things will start to finally cool down here today. It's been in the upper 80s, lower 90s all day. Pitch was low and in the dirt, stopped by Taylor Duke, and then he faked like he was going to throw back to second to pick off Moles. But Moles was able to get back in time and not buy into his fake. Good start to the game for Lackawanna, though. And this is a Lackawanna team ranked 3rd in the country. Here's the 1-0. And taking a strike down the middle is Anderson. He faked like he was going to bunt and then backed off too. And again, the wind, as it's done all day today, blowing in from the south. So it's not surprising to see those first two hits bloop over into the left field because the wind is helping push the ball that way. The 1-1 is low and inside for ball two. 83 miles an hour on that pitch from Alarcon. Not a great year. I mean, a 4-4 record, 4.6 ERA and 67 innings pitched. He's given up 78 hits. His opponents have batted .272 against him. That pitch is chopped foul to the left side and out of play by Anderson. So that evens the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Already a very important moment in the game when you've got runners on base, first and second with nobody out. Here's the 2-2, missing offside on the curveball. That one just shy of 70 miles an hour, running the count full. Grand Rapids started the season slow. They lost 3 of their first 4 games before coming back and eventually winning 39, going 39-23. And that pitch is off the outside corner for ball 4. And that sends Levance Anderson down to first with a walk. So just like that, the bases are loaded and there is nobody out for Grand Rapids. Not the way you want to start at all if you are Anthony Alarcon. Brings up Matt Fry. Left fielder was batting .287 on the season. Waits the first pitch. And he misses the outside corner again. Boy, that outside right portion of the plate has not been kind to Anthony Alarcon as Fry, the right-hander, digs back in. Still pretty toasty out there, 86 degrees. The 1-0 clips the outside corner that time for strike 1. A 1-1 count to Alarcon. Huge game right now. Whoever loses sees their season come to an end. Top of the first, no score, bases loaded and nobody out for Lackawanna. Here's the 1-1, missing again for ball 2. Every at bat so far, Alarcon's been behind. Fry awaits. Here's the 2-1. Misses again. A 3-1 count to Fry. Starting to see some of the shade come out. More of a crowd here than we saw in the previous 2 games. The temperature's cooled down a little bit, and an RBI walk. Matt Fry takes that pitch inside, and he will trot down to first base. And Chris Moles will come in from first to score. So Lackawanna already up 1-0 here in the top of the first inning, and we still do not have an out. It's been a struggle for Anthony Alarcon on the start of this game. Alarcon, just a sophomore, 6 foot, 165 pounds. First pitch goes inside and clips the inside corner for Josh White. The catcher takes strike 1 for an 0-1 count. But what a great program that Lackawanna has turned into. They represent the Northeast region. Small school, enrollment of only about 1,500 kids from Scranton, Pennsylvania. The 0-1 misses the outside edge of the plate for ball 1, evening the count. And we're going to have a conference on the mound here. So already that's not promising for when you already have to have a conference with your pitcher. When it's a 1-0 ball game, bases are loaded, still nobody out. You've got Accardi on third, Anderson on second, Fry on first. Anderson and Fry have also been walked. We've already given up 2 hits. Quick conference and it's over. Still nobody out here, and And White digs back in. White's a .297 hitter for Lackawanna. Gotten 47 hits on the season, looking for number 48, and he got it. Ripping it into the gap in right center. That's going to bring home one, maybe two. And coming around from second to score is Anderson. Accardi is in, Anderson is in. It's 3-0 Lackawanna. So first you have the RBI walk by Fry, and now an RBI single by Josh White. Holding up at third was Fry. So two-run RBI single, and just like that, it is 3-0. Quick start to this game for Lackawanna, and Anthony Alarcon's already going to make his offense enjoy some early pressure, because they're going to have to help him when we go to the bottom half of the first inning. Got still runners on the corners with nobody out. Tom Crimmy up to bat. He's .362 average on the season. Shortstop. He has the count 1-1 against him right now. And that pitch is inside, missing ball 2. Crimmy's young as well, sophomore, 5'11", 185 pounds, from Pennsylvania. And here is the 2-1, missing inside again, 3-1. Boy, just Alarcon's command has not been there in the early part of this game for Grand Rapids. Tyler Duke is setting up outside. He's throwing inside. The 3-1, that time he does get the inside corner for strike 2. 3 balls, 2 strikes. So he has run the count full against Crimmy after the 2-run RBI single from Josh White. So far, 3 runs on 3 hits for Lackawanna in the top of the first. That one is grounded back over to second. Could be a double play, but it's bobbled by Carlos Baroa. It gets into the outfield, and it'll be 4-0 as Matt Fry comes home to score from third. So that's probably going to be ruled an error, and it is, because Baroa had a routine play and couldn't handle it. White advances to second, so that's going to be an E6. And it is 4-0 after Fry goes in. So I guess Crimmy has an RBI now. Swing and a miss at strike 1 to Cameron Johnson. We're already at batter number 7 here. Johnson's batting .331 on the season. The top 4 batters got on base and scored already in this inning, and 0-1 count to Johnson. Alarcon checks the runner at second, fires the second pitch of the at-bat, and it's fouled back to the netting on the right side. Can't believe I'm already mentioning this early in the game, but there is a 10-run rule after 5 and an 8-run rule after 7. And already, Lackawanna is already almost halfway to the 10-run rule, but that helps Grand Rapids' cause as it's swung on and missed, and Johnson is fanned. That at bat looked like it was going to be trouble from the start. Johnson fell quickly behind and couldn't catch up to that pitch by Anthony Alarcon. So he'll take a seat. Brandon Kolish, the third baseman, he'll come up now. Batting .270. First out of the inning, and he swings and misses. He couldn't catch up to the slider. 0-1 count. Still runners on first and second for Lackawanna. Did see a grand slam in our previous game. Here's the 0-1. Lays down a bunt. It's going to shimmy its way over to first. There's going to be no play anywhere. E.J. Grouchowalski at first tried to pick it up and flip it back to his pitcher. He didn't have a play. Now the bases are loaded yet again. It'll be an infield hit for Kolish. Fourth hit of the inning 4 runs on 4 hits for Lackawanna in total right now. Throw in an error by Carlos Baroa, and you have a 4-0 advantage. Frank Elvin Reyes now comes to the plate. He chops it over to short again, and again Baroa can't handle it. 1 run will score. Play at the plate on the second one, possibly no. He's safe. Now there's going to be possibly a throw over to third, and it's thrown into the outfield. But sliding into third safely. So White comes home to score, so does Crimmy. And Kolish ends up over at third, and Frank Elvin Reyes ends up at second. But it is now 6-0. What a disastrous start to this game for Lackawanna. Sorry, for Grand Rapids. Couldn't start it any better for Lackawanna. I think they're angry about last night's 6-5 loss in extra innings to Scottsdale. They've certainly come out and played that way. There's still 1 out here in the top of the first, but now you got runners on second and third here. We're back to the top of the order. Seems like I just saw Chris Moles, but he's up here again. He singled and scored, and he rips that one down the first base line and foul. Falls behind 0-1. First base is open, so a walk here is not what you want to have, but at least you won't score anybody. Moles rips this one into center. Jared Tyson is there. He'll make the catch. The runner from third's going to go. Cholish comes home. He'll score. 7-0. So Kolish is home at 7-0 on the RBI sac fly by Chris Moles. It is 7-0 already, Lackawanna. Cannot believe what I'm seeing. But finally, they get their second out of the inning. Anthony Alarcon might have a very, very short-lived game. And just like that, Grand Rapids' season is looking like it is in serious doubt. And we bring up Micah Carty, who's already ahead in the count, 1-0, and he chops this one over to third. It's going to get through third for a base hit. Frank Elvin Reyes rounding third. The throw is cut off. The play at the plate, he's safe. Going into second for a double is Carty. He's 2 for 2. Unbelievable. It is already 8-0, and we are going to probably see an early exit here from Anthony Alarcon, and the pitcher is out. He's talking with his coach, and he hands him the ball. As he heads back to the dugout, we'll have a pitching change. It's already 8-0 Lackawanna with 2 outs in the top of the first. New pitcher when we return. This is the NJCAA Division II World Series presented by Advanced Pierre Foods.
Let me tell you about my college, Lackawanna College.
A 2-year, highly respected college that can prepare you for a career or to move on to a 4-year program.
5 regional locations, over 30 degree programs, and more.
I'm a future paramedic who found my future at Lackawanna College. Call or visit today and we'll help you find your future.
The thrill of victory on the baseball field is a direct result of the hours of practice in the batting cage and the bullpen. Bottom line, it takes hard work when nobody's watching to join your team on the big stage as you compete for a World Series title. Advanced Pierre Food Company believes in supporting all Enid sports programs and local events, and they are proud to sponsor the NJCAA World Series. Advanced Pierre Food would like to wish the players, coaches, and fans good luck in the JUCO World Series. Let's play ball from Advanced Pierre Food Company. The new pitcher for Grand Rapids walks into a pretty tough situation. Finds his team down 8-0. It's McKinley Portis. McKinley's got a 5.31 ERA on the season, a 4-1 record. In 29 innings pitched, he is Giving up a .237 opponent's batting average against him, 24 strikeouts for him and 19 walks. And Portis, by the way, is a sophomore as well, 6'3", 230 pounds from Pickford, Michigan. Runners on second and third again for Lackawanna, bringing up Levance Anderson, who walked and scored earlier in this inning. And he's ahead in the count, 1-0. And not to mention you have two errors, both by the second baseman, Carlos Baroa. 2-0 the count as that pitch misses upstairs and outside. Anderson waiting patiently for the 2-0 delivery, and he got anxious and foul tipped it into the glove of Tyler Duke for strike one at 85 miles an hour from Portis. It's 2 balls and a strike. Portis spells his name P-O-R-T-I-C-E, even though it's pronounced like Clinton Portis, the former NFL running back. The 2-1 misses high and away for ball 3. 3 balls and a strike. Again, first base is open. My mistake, I said there were runners on second and third. There's just Accardi on second. 3-1 with 2 outs to Anderson. Misses high, ball 4. Anderson's been walked twice now. And the final numbers, by the way, on Alarcon weren't pretty. He gave up 6 hits, 8 runs, 6 of which were earned, didn't strike out anybody, and he walked 2. And already we see a walk from Portis. Now you have runners on first and second, bringing up Matt Fry. And he walked and scored earlier in this inning as well. And he takes strike 1 on the outside corner, 0-1. Based on the way this game is going early on, it could be fast. The 0-1 misses off the right edge of the plate. Oh, it hits it. 0-2. Looked like they were going to call it a ball. The umpire decided it was a strike. Pretty tough if you're McKinley Portis coming into this situation. You're just trying to put out the blaze. And the 0-2 misses low and away. It was in the dirt. Good stop by Tyler Duke. He doesn't stop that ball. And Accardi is heading on to third on the wild pitch. Pitcher can take as much time as he wants when there's runners on base. He only has 20 seconds to deliver the ball when the bases are empty. The 1-2 misses low and away, and it's stopped by Tyler Duke. Again, another great play. Deuces wild, 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs for Matt Fry. Righty gets back in there after a couple of low practice swings. Is Grand Rapids finally going to get out of what's been a disastrous top of the first? Here's the 2-2 swung on and hit high out of the air and into foul territory. It's tough when it's Sunday night and you've only been here 2 days and you're already running the risk of seeing your season come to an end so quickly. The 2-2 missing low and away for ball 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Such a shocking start to the game when you consider what Grand Rapids has done in their program's history. 5 national championships in baseball, the last one coming in 05, 10 World Series appearances. And Lackawanna this is the first time they've ever been here. The 3-2 ripped down the line in right field. That one is going to be caught by Ryan Manning, and he was running over there, got a good enough jump on it to make the catch. But the damage is done. We got 8 runs to go along with 6 hits, 2 errors, and 2 men left on base. But it is 8-0 Lackawanna as we head into the bottom of the first. This is the NJCAA Division II World Series presented by Advanced Pierre Foods.
It's the annual Memorial Day blowout sale. Now's the time to buy at the Mattress Hub. The deals are crazy. Save up to $600 on Tempur-Pedic's most popular model, the Cloud Supreme, plus free delivery. Save up to $400 off on Certus iComfort. On select mattresses, buy a bed, get a bed free. All this plus up to 4 years interest-free financing and a 1-year comfort guarantee. It's a Memorial Day sale you don't want to miss. Only at the Mattress Hub.
Follow the cheap sheet to the Mattress Hub.
The thrill of victory on the baseball field is a direct result of the hours of practice in the batting cage and the bullpen. Bottom line, it takes hard work when nobody's watching to join your team on the big stage as you compete for a World Series title. Advanced Pierre Food Company believes in supporting all Enid sports programs and local events, and they are proud to sponsor the NJCAA World Series. Advanced Pierre Food would like to wish the players, coaches, and fans good luck in the JUCO World Series. Let's play ball from Advanced Pierre Food Company. Well, there's one person I wouldn't mind being right now, and that is Tyler Buckley, the pitcher for the Lackawanna College Falcons, because he's been spotted an 8-run lead early on in this game. His team's already up 8-0 in the bottom of the first. So leading off for Grand Rapids, it'll be Jared Tyson, Carlos Baroa, and Brendan Bender. And those three better have some gas in the tank because they're going to need to really provide some run support, since their starting pitcher, Anthony Alarcon, only lasted 2/3 of an inning, gave up 6 hits, 8 runs, 6 of those runs were earned, walked 2, didn't strike out anybody. Tyler Buckley hopes his fate's a little different, and he has been sensational this season for Lackawanna. 9-1 record, 1.62 ERA, 61 strikeouts to 24 walks. And Tyson, the left-handed hitter, digs in. First pitch to Tyson is a strike. That was one heck of a pitch, 89 miles an hour. The 0-1 misses high and upstairs for ball 1. Buckley's pitched the most innings of any of the pitchers on his team at 72 1/3 innings, and he's behind in the count 2-1. Winds and delivers. Here's the 2-1 pitch, missing high and upstairs for ball 3, a 3-1 count. During the World Series, each team is paired with a local business or organization and a Little League team to help serve as a host during their stay in Enid. And we'd like to recognize and thank the hosts for the teams in this game. For Lackawanna, as that pitch is grounded over to third, fielded on a hop by Brandon Kolish, throw to first in time. Jared Tyson is retired on the 5-3 putout. 1 down, 8-0 Lackawanna. And again, as I mentioned, each team that's paired with a different organization. And Lackawanna is hosted by the Chisholm Longhorns baseball team and Enid Rotary. And Grand Rapids is hosted by the Enid Cobras baseball team and Advanced Pierre Foods. Pitch misses high and away for ball 1 to the next batter, Carlos Baroa. Hopefully Baroa will have a much better start to the game on offense than he has on defense. He's already committed 2 errors, and he rips this one into shallow center. And Mike Accardi has no problem with that one as he gets under it for the out. 2 up, 2 down. Everything going right for Lackawanna right now. Brendan Bender to the plate, batting .358 on the season. By the way, Baroa is tied for the team lead in batting average. He's batting .387, and so is Brian Portelli. He's the left fielder in the on-deck circle. Should Bender get aboard here as he takes ball 1 inside. Base is empty, 2 outs. The 1-0 misses low and inside again, 2-0 the count. Well, just looking at the numbers, when you looked at the starting pitching matchup between Tyler Buckley and Alarcon, you just knew that Buckley had the edge. Buckley's 1.62 ERA to Alarcon's 4.4. 2-1 now as he gets the first strike of the at-bat against the lefty. Bender takes ball 3. A 3-1 count again. There is a 10-run rule after 5 innings and an 8-run rule after 7. If you lead by 10 or more after 5, you end up winning the game. And Grand Rapids doing everything they can to make sure that doesn't happen as Bender is dealt a walk. And he trots down to first. So good job by Bender to be resilient and patient. So Buckley deals his first walk of the game with 2 outs. Bender's aboard. Brings up Brian Portelli, and Portelli is, again, that's .387 on the year. Takes strike 1, 0-1 the count. The 0-1, low and in the dirt for ball 1. Eight runs and 6 hits for Lackawanna. Portelli waits and takes that one right down the middle for strike 2. Looked like he was planning on taking that one the whole way. And Buckley said, here you go, have some of my fastball. Now, Grand Rapids down to their last strike in the inning. Bender with a decent lead over at first. And Portelli calls for time. Now he's ready to go again. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And that one is fouled back to the screen. We'll do the 1-2 again. Bender, not much of a threat to steal. He's only had 2 stolen bases attempts this year, 2 stolen base attempts, and he's only been successful on 1 of them. So he's not really a threat to run in this situation, as again the 1-2 is fouled back behind home plate over the NJCAA World Series logo. A 1-2 count again. 1 man aboard for Grand Rapids, trying to cut into this 8-0 deficit. That one is ripped down the first base line and out of play. Again, 3rd straight pitch fouled off. I'll tell you one person who's not going to be happy to see the score, Matt Howell, our sports director. In the NJCAA pool, you each draw a team and win some money if your team goes the farthest. The 1-2 goes low and away, and he drew Grand Rapids. So if he's listening right now, he can't be too happy with what he's seeing. Here's the 2-2, almost hit him. The 2-2 by Buckley almost ends up hitting Portelli, but he's able to get out of the way for ball 3. So Buckley's starting to lose some of his luster a little bit. That pitch is fouled back to the netting, and that was a 92-mile-an-hour fastball that was ripped back by Portelli. Boy, he has done a heck of a job in this at-bat. This staying alive. Even when he's been a little bit behind the pitch, he's been able to get just enough of the ball. Here's the 3-2, almost hit him, but it doesn't matter. It's high and inside for ball 4. And he is aboard with a walk. So 2 straight walks here by Buckley to keep this inning alive for Lackawanna. Here in the bottom of the 1st, it's 8-0. Lackawanna has a huge lead right now on Grand Rapids. And that brings up E.J. Grouchowalski, the first baseman, and he takes ball 1. Right now, Buckley's liking to throw. He likes throwing the ball inside, but he's throwing it way too far inside. The 1-0 swung on and missed by Grouchowalski, and that again another pitch that had some heat on it. There aren't a lot of guys at the Division II level that can throw in the 90s, but Tyler Buckley is one of them. And Buckley steps off the mound and calls for time. The 1-1 is on its way right down the middle for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes with 2 outs. Runners on 1st and 2nd. It's Portelli on first, Bender on second for Grand Rapids. And Buckley in this inning, and that pitch is lined over to short, and it's fielded by Tom Crimmy in the air for a line out, and that will end the inning. Nice play by Tom Crimmy to dive over and make the catch. Well, they had 2 runners left on base, no errors, no hits, 2 walks, no runs either. It's still 8-0 Lackawanna as we head to the top of the second. This is the Division II NJCAA Baseball World Series presented by Advanced Pierre Foods. We're through 1, and we've seen 8 runs scored, all by 1 team. That belongs to Lackawanna here in the losers bracket. Due up here, Josh White, Tom Crimmy, and Cameron Johnson for Lackawanna. Johnson was the only player in that first inning that did not score. That pitch is ripped hard down the line and foul by Josh White, but that's a big break there for Grand Rapids. That was a heck of a cut. So they already have gone to their second pitcher, McKinley Portis, who had to come on after Anthony Alarcon had a horrendous start and eventually had to sit down. Only got through 2/3 of an inning. Josh White just took ball 1. In the dirt again, another stop by Tyler Duke. He's already had to make a lot of plays behind the plate, and he has to make another one right there. Stopping that one, 2 balls, 2 strikes to him. Temperatures cooled down now as we get into our evening hours. 84 degrees as that one is chopped over to second, fielded by Ayala. And he throws out Josh White for the 4-3 putout. Brings up Tom Crimmy, the shortstop, 362 on the season. He reached on an error. There were 2 errors back in that first inning, both committed by Carlos Baroa, the shortstop. And Crimmy reached on an error, so in the books he goes down as being 0 for 1, but he did score. And he ends up taking ball 1. Crimmy had that great diving play over at short to end the inning in the bottom of the first and get Tyler Buckley out of that little jam that he was in with runners on first and second. The 1-0 to Crimmy. Takes strike 1. Nice fastball there from McKinley Portis. One ball, 1 strike, in and out. And that hanging curveball missed the outside corner for ball 2. Portis has only struck out 5 more batters than walks, 24 strikeouts tonight. Well, make it 20 walks because he had 1 back in the first inning. And he has that pitch ripped down the line into foul ground. Chasing it is Mike Battistelli, but he can't get up to it. There's no play. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Portis' batting average of opponents against him, .237. And here's the 2-2, misses off the edge for ball 3. Boy, just to get his confidence up, if you're Grand Rapids, you'd love to just see him have a very quick inning so he can settle down and get into a rhythm. Again, the key is right now, if you're Grand Rapids, just keep this team at bay. You don't want to give up at least 2 more runs to put the 10-run rule in effect after 5. And that's ball 4. Low and in the dirt, almost hit Crimmy on the foot, but it's the second walk issued by Portis. Lackawanna in control, leading 8-0. Cameron Johnson on now, the right-hander getting back in. He struck out. He was the only strikeout victim for Anthony Alarcon. And the throw down to second as he's going to go trying to steal. Crimmy does, and he is going to be tagged out. Great play by Tyler Duke. He's been the one bright spot for Grand Rapids in this game, and he caught Crimmy trying to get greedy there, and he is thrown out on the steal attempt. Crimmy not happy with himself as he goes back over to the dugout. There's now 2 down. The 1-0 pitch is high and upstairs to Cameron Johnson. Boy, Duke was way ahead of that throw. Base is now empty again. The 2-0 is ripped back to the netting. Making it 2 balls and 1 strike. The 2-1 on its way from Portis. That one bounces off the leg of Duke and out of play. So for ball 3, that I don't think there was any way Duke was going to be able to save that one from going into the stands. The 3-1 on its way, misses outside for ball 4. So another walk to Johnson. Another walk issued by Portis to Johnson. So that's already 3 walks for McKinley Portis. And another conversation on the mound. This time it's going to be between Portis and his catcher, Tyler Duke. It's interesting to look at Lackawanna's schedule, see that they started very slow, losing their first 3 games of the season to Louisburg College. But then they regrouped and found their way, ended up winning 46 games this year before losing to Scottsdale. They had a 9-game winning streak before yesterday's loss. First pitch swung on and missed to Brandon Kolish, who singled and scored back in the first. He was one of 3 batters that singled and scored in that first inning. Chris Moles, Mike Accardi, and Kolish all did that. Here's the 0-1, popped up high in the air, infield playable. Carlos Baroa waves off his teammates and is underneath that one for the pop out to end the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base for Lackawanna. They're still in the driver's seat. They lead this thing 8-0 as we head to the bottom of the 2nd. This is the NJCAA World Series presented by Advanced Pierre Foods.
To book your Enid getaway, go to visitenid.org or call 877-999-ENID.
My future is in natural gas technology.
My future is in teaching.
I'm a future business leader.
My future is in computers and IT security.
My future is in diagnostic sonography.
My future is in human services, but there are a lot of majors to choose from.
Lackawanna College offers over 30 degree programs at 5 locations.
Lackawanna College helped define our futures. Call or visit today and find your future at Lackawanna College.
We've played 1.5 innings out here at David Allen Memorial Ballpark for the 3rd and final game of our triple header between Lackawanna and Grand Rapids. And advantage Lackawanna big time. They're up 8-0. Earlier today, LSU Eunice, the big story, the #1 team in this country, lost 4-3 to Des Moines Area Community College from Iowa. So they will now play at 11 o'clock on Tuesday. LSU Eunice will, as the first pitch to Ryan Manning is a strike. Manning batting .354 this season. And then right after that, we saw Catawba Valley knock off CCRI 11-5 and end their season. And the winner of this game will play Catawba Valley tomorrow at 3:30. The 2-0 pitch is swung on and hit high and fouled. Out of play. So CCRI already saw their season come to an end. And right now, Grand Rapids is well on their way to joining them if they can't get something going. Manning chops that one over to short, fielded on the hop by Crimmy. He throws on to first. It's off target. He's not able to get him. That throw just took a little too long, and the ball on the hit bounced a little too high, took a little too long to get to Crimmy, but Crimmy probably could have charged that a little bit harder. Still, it was not an easy play, and Chris Moles over at first base almost made a heck of a tag on Manning, but he was unable to put the tag down. First hit of the game for Grand Rapids. That brings up Steve Ayala. .338 hitter on the season, playing second base. Got a ground out early. He had a 4-3 put out back in the top of the second. 441 slugging percentage for him. And he kind of is a threat to steal somewhat when he gets on base. 7 stolen bases and 9 attempts. Sees the count move at 1-1 to him. He has struck out 12 times this season. And he takes ball 2, a 92-mile-an-hour fastball from Tyler Buckley. The team leader in strikeouts is Jared Tyson with 44. That one is ripped down the first base line. That is going to be fair. Levance Anderson has to field it on the hop. Heading for third and getting in there safely will be Manning. Runners on the corners with nobody out. Second straight hit. So Ayala with a single. Now you got Tyler Duke up to the plate. Well, we've seen what Tyler Duke can do defensively. Can he do something offensively here? And his first pitch is low and away for ball 1. He does this funky thing with the bat before he gets ready to hit. He twirls it a couple of times. With his right hand just by itself. It's unorthodox, but it's his way of doing it. Every baseball player has a routine when they get up there. He takes strike 1 on the curveball. A 1-1 count. Well, Buckley was in somewhat of a similar jam to this one back in the bottom of the second. He did have runners on first and second with 2 outs, but this one is substantially bigger. And that pitch is a strike on the outside corner. Good fake down to first by Josh White to get the runner to go back there. 1-2 count to Duke. Duke batting .259 this year. And Buckley steps off the bag to check both runners. One and two, Duke waiting it, spins the bat again and takes ball 2 low and in the dirt, tells his runner at third to not try to run home or do anything risky here. This is exactly the kind of inning that Grand Rapids needed to have. A quick start, get some runners on base, don't get any early outs, try to get something going. Here's the 2-2 line back to the netting on the right side, and we'll do it again. Just past the 8 o'clock hour here local time in Enid, Oklahoma. 2 balls, 2 strikes. That one is ripped into the gap between short and third. That's going to score Ryan Manning. So an RBI single for Duke. Ayala goes to second. So 3 at-bats and 3 straight singles for Grand Rapids. And it's now 8-1. So now the 8-run rule no longer in effect. Still nobody out. That one chopped over to first, and it's bobbled and dropped by Moles. Gets behind him into the outfield. Coming around third to score will be Ayala, and it's 8-2. Tyler Buckley's got to get this game under control, because now Mike Battistelli on first pitch swinging was able to rip it down the line, and that's going to be ruled an error, an E3. And now we go back to the top of the Grand Rapids order for Jared Tyson. 321 batter on the season. Grounded out in his first at bat. 8-2. And already it's been a sloppy start. We've seen 3 errors too. 2 on Grand Rapids and 1 on Lackawanna. First pitch to Tyson in there for a strike. 0-1. One thing Buckley, despite throwing as hard as he has done, it's hard to believe he hasn't had a strikeout in this game. And that one's going to be low and in the dirt. It's going to get behind White. He has a hard time finding it. 1 run scores. It's 8-3. That's Tyler Duke scoring from third. Things are kind of getting out of hand here. It's a good thing Grand Rapids was able to respond as early as they have. So now it's 8-3. Runner on third now, and that is Mike Battistelli. That pitch is ripped back to the screen. It's 2-2, just like that to Tyson. Now Tyson does lead the team in strikeouts with 44. And he's only been walked 16 times this year. 2-2, low and in the dirt. A huge stop by Josh White. Both catchers having to do a lot of dirty work here in the early going. I'm sure this is somewhat of a surprise here for Tyler Buckley, or seeing him struggle like this, because he's been in such command all year. A 9-1 record for him. The 3-2 got him looking. Got him looking. Tyson goes down on strikes for strikeout number 45. One down now. Buckley, by the way, 6 foot, 190-pound pitcher. A sophomore, and he is from the hometown of Lackawanna in Scranton. And his first pitch to Carlos Baroa is outside for ball 1. That was a huge, huge play to get that first out. Anything to get your confidence going. The 1-0, low and away for ball 2. It's 8-3. This is just the exact response that Grand Rapids needed. And again, if you only get 3 runs in this inning, that's not the worst thing in the world. It's not. You still got plenty of time to get 5 more. You're only in the second inning as he fouls that one high and out of play over the roofing here at David Allen. 2 balls, 1 strike. John Herrick with you for Chisholm Trail Broadcasting Sports. Third game of our triple header. That one's chopped foul down the third base line, and the even count at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Our producer engineer back in the Enid studios, Darren Carlton, and our video team is the Nelson family duo of Mike and Tom Nelson running the camera here, providing you with all the camera work. Swung on and missed, and strike 3 on Carlos Baroa. So now that is even bigger, because now Buckley is starting to find his confidence as he is able to retire Baroa for the second out of the inning and 2 straight strikeouts. In the first inning, he had 2 straight walks. 2 down. Brings up Brendan Bender, the designated hitter who walked back in the first and didn't advance past second. That one is chopped over to first, excuse me, fielded by Chris Moles. He flips it to Buckley for the 3-1 putout. That will end the inning, but Grand Rapids chips away. They get 3 runs, 3 hits, and 1 error, even though they left 1 on base. It's 8-3, Lackawanna through 2. We head to the top of 3 when we return. This is the NJCAA Division II World Series presented by Advanced Pierre Food.
Where can a washer and dryer become a concert? Where does an old sofa turn into a new discovery? Where does a lamp become a performance or a television become a television station? Where can a mattress beautify Main Street? Only at Park Avenue Thrift, where 100% of the profits from your donations fund community endeavors, making Enid a better place, one donation at a time.
The thrill of victory on the baseball field is a direct result of the hours of practice in the batting cage and the bullpen. Bottom line, it takes hard work when nobody's watching to join your team on the big stage as you compete for a World Series title. Advanced Pierre Food Company believes in supporting all Enid sports programs and local events, and they are proud to sponsor the NJCAA World Series. Advanced Pierre Food would like to wish the players, coaches, and fans good luck in the JUCO World Series. Let's play ball from Advanced Pierre Food Company. For Lackawanna here in the top of the third, it will be the 9-1-2 portion of the batting order. Frank Elvin Reyes, followed by Chris Moles and Mike Accardi. Reyes reached on an error and scored back in the first. Takes ball 1, the 1-0, right down the middle for strike 1, a 1-1 count. It's still Lackawanna on top, 8-3. 8 runs, 6 hits, and an error for them. 3 runs, 3 hits, 2 errors for Grand Rapids, both committed by the shortstop, Carlos Baroa. The 1-1, down the middle for strike 2. Both these teams have had such great seasons. Of course, Grand Rapids lost 3 of their first 4. Lackawanna lost their first 3. That pitch low and in the dirt and stopped by Duke again. Seems like he's done that so much. And we talked about Lackawanna and their 9-game winning streak ending. Well, when Grand Rapids fell to Western Oklahoma, they had a 5-game winning streak going before their loss yesterday. The 2-1 ripped foul down the right field line and out of play. Some of the folks sitting down the right field line had to be very on top of where that ball was going. It was hit hard by Reyes. A .314 hitter on average this season. Reyes waits the 2-2, chops this one over to third, fielded by Battistelli. He'll have a play at first and he'll throw him out. So Reyes is 0 for 2, and that brings us back to the top of the order for Chris Moles. He has scored a run, and he has an RBI sac fly. He had that one back in the top of the first. He was able to bring in Brandon Kolish. 1-0 the count to him. He hit the sac fly to center field. The 1-0 hits the outside corner for strike 1 to even the count. Again, we are your voice for this entire tournament, the Division II Junior College World Series, right here on 1390 KCRC or online at ctbsports.com. And you can see our video feed as well at njcaa.org should you choose to go that route. Now with the picture monitor I'm looking at, it looks pretty sharp. Mike Accardi in the on-deck circle, stretching out, getting loose. Moles waits the 2-1 and ends up taking strike 2, an 83-mile-an-hour fastball from McKinley Portis. Portis awaiting the 2-2, hops in the dirt, Another big stop by Duke. Luckily the bases are empty, so no harm, no foul. It's 328 down the line and left, 300 down the line and right. And with that big wall in center field, that makes it 390. Seen a lot of home runs hit to left field when I've been in this ballpark, especially with the wind always seems to be blowing out of the south whenever there's a game here. Seemed like it was that way in the Merrifield tournament over a month ago, a high school baseball tournament we did here, as that 3-2 pitch was fouled out of play. Moles trying to stay alive here. He's run the count full. Base is empty, one away. Here's the 3-2. Ripped back to the netting. We'll do it again. You know, a lot of, they've made an announcement. If you are a fan in the ballpark and you find a foul ball, I believe if you go and you bring it back to the umpire, you get a deal at the concession stand, like you get $1 off your next purchase or something like that. And the 3-2 goes inside. And did it hit him? Yes, it did. Even if it didn't hit him, he would have been ball 4 anyway, but Moles gets hit. So he continues to be a problem for Grand Rapids as he is now on base for the second time. And even when hasn't been on base in this game, he's batted in runs like he did back in the first as well. This brings up Micah Carty. He's already 2 for 2 with a double and a single, and taking off and heading for second is Moles. He's going to round second on the wild pitch as it goes back to the backstop before bouncing off and into Duke's arms, 1-0. Duke will get it back to his pitcher, and Portis will go back to work after the steal by Moles. Moles had his mind made up, and Portis didn't really pay any attention to him, and now Moles is in scoring position at second base. It's 8-3 Lackawanna over Grand Rapids. We are in the top of the third inning. Here's the windup, swing and a miss from Micah Carty, evening the count at 1. Carty, the left-hander, gets back in. Looks like these two are just in a stare down right now. Now Carty's ready to go. Here's the 1-1, ripped and popped up. In foul territory, but possibly playable. No, it's over, and it bounces off one of the steps and comes back down and hits a guy sitting in the seat, but he's okay. I am amazed. I've seen a lot of foul balls hit inside this ballpark, and I just continue to be amazed whenever it hits one of the steps and it doesn't hit someone in the head. And with all the people that are sitting behind home plate, it didn't happen that time. The 1-2 is cut on and missed. Oh, they're going to say he tipped enough of it. He fouled it off the home plate. So he saves the strikeout, and he'll go back to work and do the 1-2 over again. Lackawanna trying to add to their 8-3 lead here in the top of the third. The 1-2, chopped over to second. Ayala has a play, bobbles it, picks it up, flips it over to first, not in time. That's probably going to be ruled an error on Ayala, and it should, because that was a fairly routine play. Yep, it is. Third error of the game already on Grand Rapids. Moles now goes to third off the error. That's going to be ruled an E4. That brings up Levance Anderson. Now you've got runners on the corners with one out. And Anderson, in both at bats that he had in the first inning, he was walked both times as Portis steps off the bag and checks both runners and gets ready to go back to work. You know what he wants right now. He's thinking double play. Get a double play and get this inning over with. And taking off and running for second. Uh-oh, we see Carty's caught in a rundown. And he's got to throw over to third to check the runner. He will not get him. And Carty is going to head to second. That looked like it was planned to perfection by Lackawanna. Use Accardi as a diversion on a steal attempt, and then if you have to worry about him, then you get caught up worrying about him and Moles can run home and score. Well, basically, Grand Rapids had to choose to throw over to third to prevent Moles from running home, and when they did that, Accardi headed to second. So now the double play, forget about it, with one out. A 1-0 count to Anderson still. Well-designed play there by Lackawanna. That pitch is ripped into center field. That one's going to get down for a hit. One run will score. Cardi's going to stop at third. Anderson was tempted to round first and head for second, but he thought better of it. Wise choice, and it's 9-3 Lackawanna. For the second time in the game today, Moles has scored. And Anderson has his first hit. He's 1 for 1 with 2 walks. And that is the 7th hit of the game for Lackawanna. Now we have runners on the corners with 1 out. Bringing up Matt Fry, who walked and scored back in the first and then flew out to right. So he's 0 for 1 with a walk. Is batting .287. First pitch to him, high and outside, ball 1. Short lead over at first there for Anderson. Portis checks the runner, throws over there. Anderson slides under the tag and gets back in time. Cardi awaits. He gets back over to third. Throw over to first again. Again, Anderson gets back. Claps his hands saying, hey, that's all right. Bring more of it. I'm ready. Still a 1-0 count. Again, third straight throw over to first. Portis really concerned about Anderson as E.J. Grouchowalski has no problem catching the throw as the first baseman. Fry still awaiting the 1-0 pitch. Here it is, finally. Runner goes. Skied high into shallow right center. It's going to get down for a base hit. Accardi's going to sprint home and score. 10-3 Lackawanna. He receives a high five from the next batter, Josh White, an RBI single for Fry. Cardi scores. It's 10-3 Lackawanna on top. What a game offensively. They had 8 runs in the first and now 2 runs here in the third. The odd number innings have been good to them so far. First and second are where the runners are. You've got Anderson on second, Fry on first. That was a really, in Grand Rapids defense though, that single was a total blooper and the wind did a number on that ball, putting it in a very awkward place, and it was hard for Ayala and Manning to get out there and try to make a play. The 1-0 to Josh White, misses for ball 2. White back in the first, singled and scored. He also had an RBI single that drove home 2 runs. 10-3 is the advantage now for Lackawanna. Misses again, 3-0. 3-0 is the count to White. Fry is on first, Anderson is on second. And you got to think White's going to be taking all the way here. Here's the 3-0, and he is, and he's going to take his first strike of the at-bat inside. A 3-1 count. Three balls, 1 strike. That one is chopped down the line and foul. Nice job by the third base coach over there. Fielded it with one hand, had no problem with it. Then flipped it into the dugout, to the opposing dugout. The count is full. Tom Crimmy awaits in the on-deck circle. Infield at double play depth. The 3-2 runners go. It's skied high into center. Tyson is going after it. He makes a high catch, throws back into second to double off the runner. He almost did it, but Anderson was able to hightail it back there in time. Second out of the inning, and White is now 1 for 3. Brings up Tom Crimmy. It'll be up to him to keep the inning alive. So far, 2 runs on a hit. 2 runs on 2 hits in this inning for Lackawanna. They lead it 10-3 over Grand Rapids. That brings up Crimmy, who reached on an error in the first and then walked back in the second. He's 0 for 1. First pitch is high and away for ball 1. Still, you have runners on first and second, and Cameron Johnson is in the on-deck circle. Crimmy awaits patiently. The 1-0 doesn't clip the inside corner, misses for ball 2. Here's the 2-0 pitch. That one inside for strike 1. 2 balls and 1 strike to him. Well, McKinley Portis did a pretty good job in the second inning. He got out of it with a little trouble, but certainly did a lot better than his predecessor. That would be Anthony Alarcon, who gave up the 8 runs, 6 of which were earned. That pitch is skied in the air to right, to left, and foul out of play. Got 2s across the board now. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs here in the top of the third. With 2 runners on base. Runners on first and second. Crimmy awaits, takes it low and in the dirt. Did it hit him? They're going to say no. It looked like it almost did, but on the low pitch that was in the dirt by Duke, the runners, both of them went and advanced to second and third. You got Anderson and you got Fry, 2 quick runners on base, and they both took off at the same time. Yeah, you have runners on second and third now. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here's the 3-2, low and in the dirt. That will send Crimmy down to first. Now the bases are loaded with 2 outs. And that is the 4th walk issued by Portis. And that's going to end up bringing on a conference. Again, you know, if you don't have a lot of faith in the pitcher you have out there right now, if you're Grand Rapids, if you don't have a lot of faith in Portis, you might want to take him out soon, but at the same time, it's going to be awfully difficult, because if you're going to bring in a relief pitcher, you're going to put that relief pitcher on the mound with the bases loaded, and they're going to choose not to do that. They're going to leave Portis out there, see if McKinley can finish out this inning. But brings up Cameron Johnson. Now, Johnson was the only batter in that first inning that did not score. 8 runs were scored in the first inning. He was the only guy that did not come around to score. He struck out in the first and walked in the second. And he has a chance to do some real damage here. He rips that one into the gap, left center, and it's going to be caught. Jared Tyson is there to end the inning. So he's had a busy day already. He caught 2 flyouts in that inning alone to end it. We're through 2.5, 2 runs, 2 hits, 1 error, and 3 men left on base. The bases left loaded for Lackawanna. We head to the bottom of 3, where the score is 10-3 Lackawanna. This is the NJCAA Division II Baseball World Series, presented by Advanced Pierre Foods.
It's the annual Memorial Day blowout sale. Now's the time to buy at the Mattress Hub. The deals are crazy. Save up to $600 on Tempur-Pedic's most popular model, the Cloud Supreme, plus free delivery. Save up to $400 off on Certus iComfort. On select mattresses, buy a bed, get a bed free. All this plus up to 4 years interest-free financing and a 1-year comfort guarantee. It's a Memorial Day sale you don't want to miss. Only at the Mattress Hub.
Follow the cheap sheet to the Mattress Hub.
It's Northcutt's Memorial Day sale. Get great rebates, Memorial Day bonus cash, liquidation discounts, and 0% for up to 72 months. New 2012 Chevy Silverado 1500 extended cab, only $26,749. Or a 1500 Crew, just $24,897. 2012 Chevy Sonic, just $15,499. Get pre-approved online at northcuttauto.com or call toll-free to lock in your best deal. Northcutt Chevrolet Buick Enid, your shortcut to a great deal.
It is 10-3, advantage Lackawanna right now. They lead by 7. Grand Rapids has a chance to cut into it in the bottom of the third. It is the 4, 5, 6 portion of the batting order coming up. Brian Portelli will lead us off. He walked back in the first, followed by E.J. Grouchowalski and Ryan Manning. Manning was the first guy to score for Grand Rapids. And quickly ahead in the count is Portelli. He's up 2-0. Those of you that are at David Allen Ballpark, or those that were listening or watching, you probably heard the train come by. Of course, there's a train track right behind the ballpark. 2-1 now as Portelli takes the strike. It's got to be so incredibly distracting if you're a pitcher or a hitter and that a key at bat is going on and that train drives by. Luckily, it's every time I've seen it drive by, it only drives by when the bases are empty or it's it's an at-bat that isn't of huge consequence. 3 balls, 2 strikes as Portelli takes the third ball low and inside. Runs the count full. Here's the 3-2. Ripped foul down the first base line. And it ends up in the Lackawanna bullpen. I am amazed by that. Especially when you have the train driving by, and then of course if the heat is affecting you. And that one's grounded right back up the middle for a base hit. Nobody in the Lackawanna infield had a chance at a play on that. And Portelli is now 1 for 1 with a walk and a single now. That brings up E.J. Grouchowalski. Now this is exactly how the second inning started for Lackawanna, for Grand Rapids. They quickly got Manning aboard with a single, Ayala aboard with a single. Then you had Duke come in. He hit an RBI single. So it's just, again, that's how you get started. Then they had a wild pitch that allowed Duke to score. 1-0 the count to E.J. Grouchowalski, who lined out to Crimmy to end the inning. And that pitch is chopped over to Crimmy again. That's too tough of a play. He won't get there. Into the outfield for a base hit. Runners again on first and second with nobody out. This is exactly how the second inning started for Grand Rapids, and it's going to be how the third inning starts too. Ryan Manning was the guy who scored the first run for Grand Rapids, and he comes up to the plate as the left-handed hitter. And that's chopped down the line in third. And they're going to say it was foul. That was close. Looked like it might have had a good chance to go fair. 0-1 the count. No balls, 1 strike. That one is chopped over to the first base side. This time it's foul. So first he was behind the earlier pitch, Manning was, where he hit it the other way. Then he got out in front of that one and pulled it. 0-2 the count to him. Runners on first and second with nobody out. 10-3 Lackawanna. Here's the 0-2, fouled right back to the netting. Manning awaiting patiently here. 82 degrees the temperature now. And he got him looking. Manning couldn't believe it, but he looked like he thought it was going to go low and away, but Buckley said, nope, I'm going to paint the outside corner, and that's exactly what he did. Manning is retired for the third Buckley strikeout of the game. Brings up Steve Ayala with 1 out now. And he singled as well back in the second. Also later on scored. That one is sprayed the other way to right down the first base line. It's going to go foul, and again it takes a hard bounce into the concession stand. And somehow mystifyingly didn't hit anybody. No balls and 1 strike. To Ayala. Here's the 0-1. Swung on and missed. And he was way out in front of that one in a pitch that was off the plate. But he chased it, and he's behind 0-2. We're in the bottom of the third. Runners on first and second. Wind up in the pitch, it almost hits him. Josh White makes a great stop behind the bag. Now this is another, seems like Buckley has never been able to just get out of every inning with no problem. He's had runners get on base and runners get on second and third and get in scoring position before he's finally been able to get out of it. He throws ball 2 inside, 2-2 the count. He's been able to eventually get out of it, but maybe he feels a little too comfortable with a 7-run lead. But in baseball, you can never be too comfortable, especially when it's the World Series, and that pitch is, oh, it's a balk. It is a balk. He came off the bag too early, so now the runners get to advance. Pitch doesn't count. It was a balk anyway, so it's now count remains at 2-2, and now you've got runners on second and third. So a single now by Ayala could bring home 2 runs potentially, depending on how where he hits it in the outfield, and he beans Ayala in the back. And he's in a lot of pain. He goes hopping down the third base line, and now he's laying down on the ground. And that doesn't look good. He's now on his stomach being attended to by the trainer. That, I didn't quite see what the mile per hour was on that pitch, but it was in the upper 80s. I know that much because that's where Buckley's been throwing the whole game, and that's going to load the bases. Whether Ayala gets on base or they use a pinch runner for him, that's going to end up loading the bases for Grand Rapids. And that's exactly what they need right now, down by 7 runs. And he is helped up by the trainer. I think he's going to come out, and they're going to use a pinch runner for him. Steve Ayala was hit hard in the back there. I think they're just going to let him, oh, he's going to take some Gatorade and he'll be ready to go. All right. Looked like he was heading over to the bench and might sit this one out, but he is going to head over to first. And he's a guy that, you know, you don't mind having his speed out there. Again, as I mentioned, he has stolen 7 bases in 9 attempts. I mean, obviously you're not going to steal now with the runners with the bases loaded, but know that he is a factor. 1 out now, bases loaded for Buckley. This is by far the biggest jam he's been in, and he throws that pitch, that first pitch of the at-bat, to Tyler Duke upstairs for ball 1. It is Portelli on third, Grouchowalski on second, and Ayala on first. Missing a low and away to Tyler Duke, ball 2. Duke singled and scored as well back in the second. Will he score again, or better yet for Grand Rapids, will he find a way to drive home a run or 2? We know if he puts it in the outfield, he'll score at least 1. Again, he twirls the bat like he normally likes to do, and check swing, strike 1. He's still in front, 2-1 on the at bat, and fouls that one directly behind him. Of course, you heard the crowd say, "Oh," because they knew it was a good cut, but just a little little behind it. Again, the wind starts to pick up out here as it's blowing in from the south on the first base side. Counts even at 2. Bases loaded. Duke twirls the bat, waits the pitch from Buckley. It's on its way, low and inside for ball 3. The count is full and the bases are full. There is no place to put Tyler Duke if Buckley walks him. He's already walked 2 guys tonight and struck out 3. The 3-2 right down the middle for strike 3. I can't believe Tyler Duke took that pitch, but he did, and he is retired looking. Boy, at some of the pitches that he swung at earlier in the at-bat, you thought for sure he'd swing at that one, but he didn't. 4th K for Tyler Buckley. That is a huge out. And that brings up Mike Battistelli, who swung on at the first pitch of the last at-bat, reached on an error by Chris Moles. 4 combined errors in this game. He takes strike 1. Here's the 0-1. Ripped high in the air to right center, but playable. And back with it to make the catch is Mike Accardi. And Grand Rapids squanders a huge opportunity. They leave the bases loaded. They get 2 hits, no errors, and they have now left a grand total of 6 guys on base, and they trail by 7 as we have played 3 innings. We head to the top of the 4th with the score 10-3 Lackawanna. This is the NJCAA Division II Baseball World Series presented by Advanced Pierre Foods.
Hey Monique, wait up!
Manny, good to see you.
Wow, great outfit.
I got it on Park Avenue.
Park Avenue? You're a classy lady, Monique, but can you afford to shop on Park Avenue?
You can if it's Park Avenue in Enid, Oklahoma. I got this outfit for only $5 at Park Avenue Thrift.
Park Avenue Thrift? What's that?
It's a thrift store in the 500 block of South Grand, right on Park Avenue. They have anything you could want, even outfits like this one at ridiculously low prices.
Is it exclusive? Can you get me in, Monique?
Of course, anyone can shop there. That's why they call it Enid's own community thrift store. And the best part is that 100% of the profit is given back to the community. Would you like to go with me? It's just up the street.
I'm no dummy. Let's go.
The sun is down for the night. It's turned into a much cooler, beautiful evening here in Enid, Oklahoma. And the night has been beautiful for Lackawanna. They've jumped out to a 10-3 lead as we are now in the top of the 4th with the 8-9-1 portion of the Lackawanna order coming up. It'll be Brandon Kolish, followed by Frank Elvin Reyes, and then Chris Moles. Kolish in the at-bat on. And he rips this one back to the screen, and then it goes back down onto the field of play to the netting. It goes back down down the steps and was caught by a kid. Of course, she probably hit it. It was hit in our direction. No balls, 2 strikes now as Portis throws that one on target, clipping the outside corner. So Kolish is quickly behind here. That pitch is low and in the dirt for ball 1. Kolish was able to single and get an RBI back in the first inning, and then he popped out to short in the second. So he is 1 for 2. And here is the 1-2. Fouled back to the right and over off the roof again. Luckily this one wasn't going to come back down. Here's the 1-2, curveball ripped into the gap in right center. Manning is there, and so is Tyson. Tyson waves him off and makes the catch. Well, Tyson made the catch in center to end the inning back in the third. And now he makes the catch with the bases loaded, that was in the third. Now he makes the catch to start us off in the top of the fourth. Brings up Frankelvin Reyes, who is 0 for 2 with a ground out and a reach on an error, and he takes strike one. A lot of great talent here at this baseball tournament. That pitch is fouled off his own foot. Yep, fouled off his foot, and he's in a great deal of pain. You know, you wear shin guards for that sort of situation, but even when you wear shin guards, if you still hit the ball off your leg where your shin guards are protecting you, it still doesn't feel good. I mean, you hit a pitch that's being thrown over 80 miles an hour off your shin, off your shin at all, even if you have protection there, it's not going to feel good. And that's what Reyes is figuring out right now. He's finally over, picking up his bat again. And he's swinging it back and forth, much like Gary Sheffield used to do when he used to play. 0-2 to him. Wind-up pitch. Bounces in front of home plate for ball one, and then it hopped over the head of Duke. That was bizarre. I don't think I've seen that happen ever. The ball hit the dirt that early and then bounced so high that it goes over the catcher's head, and now the catcher, Tyler Duke, calls for time. I don't think that Tyler Duke likes the way something is positioned along home plate, so he called for time. And now we got some gamesmanship going on here between Tyler Duke and Frankelvin Reyes, because Reyes is hitting the dirt with his bat, and you've got Kolish, who is then calling for time and then moving the dirt around. So the umpire says something to Kolish. Maybe it's saying you can't hit the dirt, you can only hit the plate. And he takes ball two as it bounces its way into Duke again. Well, Reyes is always going to hit the plate with his bat. That's just part of his routine when he's at the plate. Here's the 2-2, ripped into right field. Manning going after it. Slides and makes a catch. He was falling down, looked a little unsure of himself, but he was under it for the out. Two straight fly outs for Lackawanna here in the top of the fourth. That's exactly what you want if you're Grand Rapids, and back to the top of the order we go. Back in the third, Chris Moles was hit by a pitch and later scored, and in the first he singled and scored. So he was hit by a pitch and scored in the third. He also scored in the first, and he had an RBI sac fly in the first as well. Saying, well, wait, he batted twice in the first inning? Yes, of course he did, because Lackawanna scored 8 runs and got themselves up 8-0, and he crushes this one into left field. It's going to go over the head of Portelli and to the wall. He's going to head for second and have a stand-up double as Portelli throws it back into Baroa at shortstop. So Moles with a 2-out double. He's been a nightmare, to say the least, for Grand Rapids. So he is in scoring position, and we could see a pitching change right here as we have a conference on the mound, and that's exactly what we will see. So McKinley Portis is done. We'll give you the final numbers on him, and we'll let you know who the new pitcher is when we return from this timeout. This is the NJCAA Division II World Series presented by Advanced Pierre Foods. The thrill of victory on the baseball field is a direct result of the hours of practice in the batting cage and the bullpen. Bottom line, it takes hard work when nobody's watching to join your team on the big stage as you compete for a World Series title. Advanced Pierre Food Company believes in supporting all Enid sports programs and local events, and they are proud to sponsor the NJCAA World Series. Advanced Pierre Food would like to wish the players, coaches, and fans good luck in the JUCO World Series. Let's play ball from Advanced Pierre Food Company.
It's the annual Memorial Day blowout sale. Now's the time to buy at the Mattress Hub. The deals are crazy. Save up to $600 on Tempur-Pedic's most popular model, the Cloud Supreme, plus free delivery. Save up to $400 off on Serta's iComfort. On select mattresses, buy a bed, get a bed free. All this plus up to 4 years interest-free financing and a 1-year comfort guarantee. It's a Memorial Day sale you don't want to miss. Only at the Mattress Hub.
Follow the cheap sheet to the Mattress Hub.
Pitching change here in the JUCO World Series at David Allen Memorial Ballpark. Lackawanna leads Grand Rapids 10-3. The new pitcher for Grand Rapids is Austin Stevens, a freshman, 6'4", 185 pounds from Rockford, Michigan. And Austin Stevens on the year for him, he is, don't believe he, yep, there, okay, 3.23 ERA, a 3-1 record. 34 2/3 innings pitched. His opponent's batting average is .240 against him. He has struck out 28 and he has walked 13. Final numbers for McKinley Portis: 2 innings pitched, 3 hits given up, 2 runs, both of which were earned. He walked 4 and didn't have any strikeouts. And the first batter that Austin Stevens will face is Mike Accardi, and he throws ball 1 to him. 1-0 the count, 2 outs. Runner on second. That is Moles, who had the double with 2 outs. It's always cool to do a baseball game at night under the lights. Just a really cool setting, especially in the early part of summer. The 1-1 pitch in there for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Levance Anderson awaits in the on-deck circle. Should Accardi keep the inning alive? Here's the 1-2. Swung on and missed, inning over. So Stevens comes in right away and gets a strikeout to end the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base for Lackawanna. They still lead at 10-3 as we head to the bottom of the 4th. This is the NJCAA Division II Baseball World Series presented by Advanced Pierre Foods.
Let me tell you about my college, Lackawanna College.
A 2-year, highly respected college that can prepare you for a career or to move on to a 4-year program.
5 regional locations, over 30-degree programs, and more.
I'm a future paramedic who found my future at Lackawanna College. Call or visit today and we'll help you find your future.
It's Northcutt's Memorial Day sale. Get great rebates, Memorial Day bonus cash, liquidation discounts, and 0% for up to 72 months. New 2012 Chevy Silverado 1500 extended cab, only $26,749. Or a 1500 Crew, just $24,897. 2012 Chevy Sonic, just $15,499. Get pre-approved online at northcuttauto.com or call toll-free to lock in your best deal. Northcutt Chevrolet Buick Enid, your shortcut to a great deal.
We're heading back to the top of the order here for Grand Rapids. They're down 10-3 over Lackawanna. And it's Jared Tyson. He rips this one foul. Oh, that was a heck of a cut. And almost a great play by Chris Moles, but he went diving after it, was unable to get it. 0-1 the count to him. Tyler Buckley, the starting pitcher out there, remains in the game for Lackawanna. The starting pitcher for Grand Rapids did not even last an inning. He pitched 2/3 and gave up 8 runs, 6 earned. And the 0-2 misses, hits the outside corner for strike 2, 0-2 the count. The 0-2, hanging curveball, clips the corner for strike 3. Nice pitch from Tyler Buckley. Haven't seen a whole lot of off-speed stuff from him until that point. And Jared Tyson goes down on strikes. I mentioned he came into this game as the team leader in strikeouts, and he is now 0 for 3 with 2 of them. So he's up to now 46 on the season. And that first pitch now to Carlos Baroa is chopped over to second and bobbled into the outfield. Frank Elvin Reyes with an error. It's going to be an E4. Second error of the game on Lackawanna. I'm amazed at the amount of routine plays both of these teams have had trouble with in this game. 5 combined errors, and we haven't even played 5 innings. First pitch is inside for ball 1, 1-0 to Brendan Bender. Bender 0 for 1 with a walk today. Baroa, by the way, with reaching as an error, is now 0 for 3. And that one's chopped through the hole in second, and that one's going to go into the outfield for probably a base hit. And almost overrunning the bag is Baroa. He almost got tagged out at second off the throw from Anderson. I think that one's going to go as a hit. That was a very difficult play for Reyes to make. So I don't think that Reyes is going to be charged with an error there. I think that's going to end up being a hit, and it is. But Baroa advances to second, and now you have runners on first and second for Grand Rapids. So another big opportunity here. They left the bases loaded back in the third. Again, when you're down 7, you can't leave the bases loaded. You just can't. Foul tip into the glove there by Brian Portelli for strike 1. 0-1 the count. He singled back in the third and was stranded on third. He's 1 for 1 with a walk. The 0-1 low and in the dirt. Evens the count at 1. Good stop by Josh White. So you've got Baroa on second, and Baroa has stolen 20 bases in 23 attempts this year. See if he tries to go for third. Buckley keeps a close eye on him at second. And he throws the second strike of the at-bat to Portelli as he hits it foul down the third base line. Runners on first and second with 1 out here for Grand Rapids. Here's the 1-2. Baroa goes, and it's a hit and run that doesn't amount to anything as that pitch is skied high over into the batting cage down the right field line. Baroa's going to retreat, so Tyler Buckley, we might see a throw over to second here on this next at bat. We'll do the 1-2 over again. We may not do it over on this at bat. Buckley looks at second, fires high and inside. And I think he threw that pitch high and inside on purpose, because if Baroa thought about going to third, at least his catcher Josh White had the ball high where he could field it and then throw it over to third in case he decided to try that. That pitch is low and in the dirt though, and stopped by White. Now the count is full, 3-2. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning. It's 10-3 Lackawanna. It's already 9 o'clock here in downtown Eden. Here's the 3-2. Ripped down the first base line. Foul. This game got started with a barrage of runs in the first inning when Lackawanna scored 8 and jumped out to an 8-0 lead. But Grand Rapids made things interesting in the second when they scored 3 of their own. But they squandered a huge opportunity in the third, and again they have another huge opportunity right here in the bottom of the 4th. The 3-2. Inside, ball 4. Bases loaded. Second walk for Portelli. Great patience from him, and a conference on the mound. Josh White will have one with his pitcher Tyler Buckley. 10-3 is your score. Advantage Lackawanna, but that could change right here with one swing of the bat. That brings up E.J. Grouchowalski, who is singled and lined out. 1 for 2 in the game today. Grouchowalski at the plate, takes a couple of practice swings, gets ready. The windup in the pitch, in there for strike 1. Oh, 0-1 the count. This is a huge moment in the game. That one's grounded over to second. Crimmy on to second for 1. He goes on to first, and he has the double play. Tom Crimmy's been at the epicenter of every big defensive play, and he makes another one. A 6-4-3 double play to end the inning. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error, and 3 men left on base. 10-3, Lackawanna still on top as we head to the top of the 5th. You're listening to the NCAA Division II JUCO World Series, presented by Advanced Pierre Foods. The thrill of victory on the baseball field is a direct result of the hours of practice in the batting cage and the bullpen. Bottom line, it takes hard work when nobody's watching to join your team on the big stage as you compete for a World Series title. Advanced Pierre Food Company believes in supporting all Enid sports programs and local events, and they are proud to sponsor the NJCAA World Series. Advanced Pierre Food would like to wish the players, coaches, and fans good luck in the JUCO World Series. Let's play ball from Advanced Pierre Food Company.
It's the annual Memorial Day blowout sale. Now's the time to buy at the Mattress Hub. The deals are crazy. Save up to $600 on Tempur-Pedic's most popular model, the Cloud Supreme, plus free delivery. Save up to $400 off on Serta's iComfort. On select mattresses, buy a bed, get a bed free. All this plus up to 4 years interest-free financing and a 1-year comfort guarantee. It's a Memorial Day sale you don't want to miss. Only at the Mattress Hub.
Follow the cheap sheet to the Mattress Hub.
It is 10-3, Lackawanna on top. And they go through the 3-4-5 portion of the batting order. It'll be Levance Anderson, followed by Matt Fry and Josh White. And out there on the mound, Austin Stevens, the 3rd pitcher that Grand Rapids has had to use in this game tonight. And again, the rule, it's a 10-run rule after 5. If you're up by 10 runs or more after 5 innings, the game is over. So Lackawanna, if they want that rule to come into effect, they're going to need to score 3 runs at least in this inning, and then shut down Grand Rapids in the bottom of the 5th. And that's one way to get it started, is Anderson on the first pitch chops that one up the middle for a base hit, and he has had a heck of an evening. 2 for 2, 2 singles and 2 walks. In non-baseball terminology, he's been a real pain in the rear end for Grand Rapids. They haven't been able to retire him, and now he's on first with a sizable lead over there, and they throw over, almost get him. Good move by Austin Stevens. Some base runners are daring enough to try to steal second, even if they're facing a left-handed hitter, and they pick off throw again, not in time. That throw by Stevens was a little wide. He's yet to throw a pitch to Matt Fry, who's at the plate. Fry is 1 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. He walked and scored in that 8-run flurry back in the first. Anderson again, decent lead over there at first. Stevens eyes him intently and fires the pitch. In there for strike 1. I think people underestimate sometimes the poise that it takes for a pitcher to have to constantly be worrying about the runner at first base, and then also the batter at the plate. And that pitch is chopped foul down the first base line, but not by much. It was hit hard by Matt Fry, and he's quickly in the hole. 0-2. 10 runs, 10 hits, and 2 errors for Lackawanna. 3, 6, and 3 for Grand Rapids. And again, keep in mind, this is Lackawanna's first ever appearance in this event. The 0-2. Swung on and missed. Throw down to second on the steal attempt. In time. Strike him out, throw him out. Tyler Duke has done a terrific job behind the plate today, and that was a strike to second base. And that is the first strikeout for Stevens. Sorry, the second strikeout for Stevens, actually. And now the bases are empty with 2 outs, and Josh White to the plate where he is in front 1-0. He is 1 for 3 with a single and a run scored, ground out and a fly out. And that pitch is chopped over to second, fielded by Ayala, on to first for the final out of the inning. So much for that 10-run rule. Lackawanna leads by 7, 10-3. We head to the bottom of the 5th after this. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. You're listening to the NJCAA Division II Baseball World Series presented by Advanced Pierre Foods.
To book your Enid getaway, go to visitenid.org or call 877-999-ENID.
My future is in natural gas technology.
My future is in teaching. I'm a future business leader.
My future is in computers and IT security.
My future is in diagnostic sonography.
My future is in human services, but there are a lot of majors to choose from.
Lackawanna College offers over 30 degree programs at 5 locations.
Lackawanna College helped define our futures. Call or visit today and find your future at Lackawanna College.
We're halfway home here. We're through 4.5 innings, bottom of 5 coming up. Grand Rapids with a lot of work to do, still down 10-7. They've left the bases loaded 2 innings in a row. First pitch on the way to Ryan Manning is a strike. He's 1 for 2 with a single and a run scored and a strikeout. And he is taking ball 1 off the edge. Here's the 1-1, chopped over to first on a high bounce, fielded well by Moles. He'll step on the bag to get the out. What a heck of a play by Chris Moles. And I think the ball might even caught some of his body. That was a really awkward bounce, but he was able to get over there and make the stop on the ground out. So 1 up, 1 down. That brings up Steve Ayala. He was hit by a pitch, if you might remember, back in the 3rd. He was plunked hard. And Ayala back into the plate, 1-0 the count to him. He was in a lot of pain after he got hit. He chops this one over to second. Fielded cleanly by Crimmy on to first. Yep. 6-3 on the putout. Tyler Duke, it'll be up to him to keep the inning alive. You're in the bottom of the 5th. Duke is 1 for 2. He's been one of Buckley's 5 strikeout victims. Will he be number 6? Will he strike out a second time? Takes ball 1 low and inside. Again, another big-time pitch from Buckley at 89 miles an hour. Tyler Duke pops it high over the main wall and out of play, evening the count at 1. 2 outs. Bases are empty. The 1-1 on its way, fouled back to the netting. And already Grand Rapids down to their last strike here. The 1-2, low and inside for ball 2. Not an easy pitch to catch from White, but he was able to do it anyway. Trying to use Buckley as much as you can, trying to get as many innings out of him as possible. Deuce is wild here. Swung on and belted into left. Matt Fry gets underneath it, inning over. A 1-2-3 inning for Grand Rapids. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on. Lackawanna still in front big, 10-3 as we head to the 6th inning. This is the NJCAA Division II Baseball World Series presented by Advanced Pierre Foods. The thrill of victory on the baseball field is a direct result of the hours of practice in the batting cage and the bullpen. Bottom line, it takes hard work when nobody's watching to join your team on the big stage as you compete for a World Series title. Advanced Pierre Food Company believes in supporting all Enid sports programs and local events, and they are proud to sponsor the NJCAA World Series. Advanced Pierre Food would like to wish the players, coaches, and fans good luck in the JUCO World Series. Let's play ball from Advanced Pierre Food Company.
Where can a washer and dryer become a concert? Where does an old sofa turn into a new discovery? Where does a lamp become a performance or a television become a television station? Where can a mattress beautify Main Street? Only at Park Avenue Thrift, where 100% of the profits from your donations fund community endeavors, making Enid a better place, one donation at a time.
There's Rick Evans manning the ground crew. Of course, you might have heard us mention him with Rick Evans Allstate Insurance. I told him earlier today I could see his ugly mug from up here in the press box. And then I texted him. He said, "Who is this?" And my autocorrect on my phone that I still haven't figured out how to use sometimes, instead of saying my name was John Herrick, it came out, said John Bedrock. So he asked me, are you related to Fred Fred Flintstone and stuff? And it ended up being a funny barrage of text messages after that. Rick's a fun, entertaining guy, and very nice of him to volunteer his time to help with the grounds crew, who have done a fantastic job here all weekend, keeping the field in great shape. Of course, the 6th inning, or right before the 6th inning, is always when they go out there and touch things up. And coming up here, it is Tom Crimmy, Cameron Johnson, and Brandon Kolish. The 6, 7, 8 portion of the batting order for Lackawanna. Strike 1 to Crimmy. He's quickly behind 0-1. Setting up outside is Duke, but the pitch is in there for strike 2. 0-2 the count. Crimmy has been he's reached on an error. He's 0 for 1 with 2 walks though. And he takes ball 1, 1-2. Even though he was behind 0-2, based on how patient he's been in the last 2 at-bats, it's going to be hard for Austin Stevens to get him out. And that pitch plunks him. Go figure. And he is aboard with a leadoff hit by pitch. That brings up Cameron Johnson. Johnson has struck out, flown out, and walked, so he's 0 for 2. Stevens, Austin Stevens has come in relief, pitched a couple of great innings so far. He struck out 2, and he draws a pop-up right here into foul territory, and under it with no problem is E.J. Grouchowalski for the first out of the inning. That brings up Brandon Kolish with one down. You can connect with us here at CTB Sports, whether you want to join our Facebook group, be sure to do that. We'll keep you up to date on all the events we cover all throughout the season. Also, if you want to follow us on Twitter, you can do that. Just go to @CTB Sports as that first pitch to Kolish is fouled to the left and skied out of play, 0-1. Runner went on that play, though. Crimmy did. So I'm sure that Stevens will be looking at him now. Also, if you want to, you can connect with me. Send me an email if you have any questions, comments, concerns about the broadcast. I'd love to hear them. Throw over to first, not in time. It's jherrick@knid.com. It's jherrick@knid.com. And the throw again over to first. Did he get him? Yes, he did. Austin Stevens pumps his fist and says, "That's right." So Crimmy is put out. We have seen that happen a lot in this World Series in these first 2 days. It's incredible. The pitching maneuvers over there have been something, and of course that's not going to draw a very happy response from the Lackawanna coach, Chris Pinsack. He's out there arguing the call. And he makes, well, it's a very short argument as he's now going back to the dugout. I will say, in Pinsack's defense, it took that first base umpire quite a while to finally rule that he was tagged out. But that's what the umpire saw. And a swing and a miss for strike 2, and Kolish is quickly down to his last strike in this inning. Here's the 0-2. Sprayed the other way, fouling out of play. And the bases are empty now after the pickoff. The 0-2, high and outside for ball 1 of the at-bat. Well, the 10-run rule is no longer in effect, but if Lackawanna could put on one more run here, there is an 8-run rule after 7. Here's the 1-2. Hanging curveball hit over Stevens' head and into the outfield for a base hit. Stevens is lucky that ball didn't hit his head. That was a rocket shot by Brandon Kolish. Frankelvin Reyes now onto the plate. He's 0 for 3. Now, remember the whole little gamesmanship battle Reyes had with the catcher Tyler Duke in his last at-bat. Reyes, first pitch to him. He fakes like he's going to lay down a bunt and backs off for, should be a ball 1, I would think. It is ball 1. Here's the 1-0. Reyes was taking all the way, and we have a balk. Stevens balked on the mound. So negate the pitch, which looked like it was going to be a strike. So we saw McKinley Portis, the previous Grand Rapids pitcher, balk, and so does Austin Stevens. And now it's a huge mistake because you just moved Kolish into scoring position. Here's the 1-0. Popped up, high, in the air, shallow left. All 3 guys giving chase, and finally Portelli's able to get under it to end the inning. So, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. Lackawanna still up 10-3 as we are through 5 1/2. You are listening to the NJCAA Baseball World Series presented by Advanced Pierre Foods.
It's Northcutt's Memorial Day sale. Get great rebates, Memorial Day bonus cash, liquidation discounts, and 0% for up to 72 months. New 2012 Chevy Silverado 1500 extended cab, only $26,749. Or a 1500 Crew, just $24,897. 2012 Chevy Sonic, just $15,499. Get pre-approved online at northcuttauto.com or call toll-free to lock in your best deal. Northcutt Chevrolet Buick Enid, your shortcut to a great deal.
To book your Enid getaway, go to visitenid.org or call 877-999-ENID.
We are Northwest Oklahoma sports leader. Thank you for making us a part of your evening, however you're doing it. Whether it's on the radio or online at ctbsports.com or on NJCAA.org. The 9-1-2 portion of the batting order coming up. It is Mike Battistelli, followed by Jared Tyson and Carlos Baroa. First pitch to Battistelli is outside for ball one. The left-hander digs back in this lefty-righty matchup. And he is 0 for 2, and he rips that one over the second baseman's head into the outfield for a leadoff single. He's 1 for 3. And that will bring us back to Jared Tyson. Tyson has struck out in his last 2 at-bats, and he's 0 for 3 today. Tyson also a left-handed hitter. First pitch to him way outside for ball one. The 1-0 just misses the outside corner for ball two. I don't think Buckley liked that one. Catawba Valley Community College is awaiting the winner of this game. The 2-0 misses in basically the exact same place, 3-0. Buckley seems to be getting himself in these early jams, but somehow manages to get out of them late, and he's able to throw strike one there. We already saw CCRI season end today, and we also saw LSU Eunice go down 4-3. They had a 2-1 lead late in the 8th and allowed Des Moines Area Community College to score 3 runs. That pitch is ripped back to the netting on the left side, and that makes the count full at 3-2. So tomorrow's matchups will be Scottsdale versus Western Oklahoma at noon. I'll have that game. Also, then at 3:30, it'll be Community CVCC playing the winner of this one as that pitch is fouled off. We'll do the 3-2 again. That game will take place at 3:30. And then at 7 o'clock. And then at 7 o'clock, it'll be Heartland and Madison. And a strikeout there from Jared Tyson. That is the 3rd strikeout of the night for Tyson. He continues to struggle at the plate. He's now up to 47 strikeouts on the season. Carlos Baroa now onto the plate with 1 away and a runner on first. Baroa's first pitch to him is too far inside for ball one. So far the numbers now for Buckley after that strikeout. He's got 6 strikeouts on the evening, but 3 of them have all come against Tyson. And he throws a strike there, evening the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. That is what's coming up tomorrow. We'll have 3 games on the slate for tomorrow, all live on ESPN Radio 1390, KCRC, and online at ctbsports.com and NJCAA.org. The 1-1 is fouled back to the netting for strike 2. It's a 1 ball, 2 strike at bat now to Carlos Baroa. And you'd like to get him on big time if you're Grand Rapids because of his speed on the base paths. And he rips that one the opposite way, foul and out of play. And the umpire has run out of balls, so he's going to need one of the Grand Rapids Community College bat boys to come out and give him some extra ones. 1 ball, 2 strikes, low and in the dirt. Good stop by Josh White. Well, you have to like the catcher play from both Josh White and Tyler Duke. Those two guys have had a difficult night stopping pitches from behind the plate, but they've both been able to do it. The 2-2 swung on and missed, and down goes Baroa. 2 strikeouts in a row from Tyson. Strikeout number 7 for him. He struck out Tyson 3 times, and now he has struck out Baroa twice. And that brings up Brendan Bender. That is such a fun name to say, Brendan Bender. He is 1 for 2 with a walk, and Buckley throws strike 1. You might want to keep a close eye on Battistelli, because Battistelli faked like he was going to go on that pitch. And it's 0-1. And the 0-1 is in there for strike 2. Battistelli on the year, not a huge threat to steal. He has 6 stolen bases in 9 attempts, but I have a hard time believing he'll go with 2 outs. And as I say that, there he goes, and he will steal second. Well, he took a gamble and it paid off, and he has his 7th stolen base of the season in 10 attempts. And that pitch was a ball, so the inning stays alive. Probably figured, hey, if he's going to get a strikeout here, the inning will be over anyway, so I might as well just try it out, and that's what he did. So now he's in scoring position. It's still 10-3 Lackawanna, but Grand Rapids needs anything they can get at this point. And that pitch low and inside for ball 2. Brendan Bender did walk back in the first. Counts even at 2. Low and inside for ball 3. First base is open, but if I am Tyler Buckley, I do not want to have to face Brian Portelli, because Portelli has been a nightmare for him to get out. He's 1 for 1. Portelli is with 2 walks. And that pitch is hit foul the other way. Bender was just a little bit behind it. The count is full at 3-2 with 2 outs and a runner on second. Grand Rapids has had their chances, and ball 4 is taken. Second walk of the night for Bender, and that's the 4th walk issued by Buckley. And Buckley has thrown all of his walks to 2 batters. 2 to Bender and 2 to this guy at the plate right now, Brian Portelli. And in the 3rd, he singled. So again, Grand Rapids with another opportunity. They have stranded at least 1 runner on base in every inning except the 5th. They left 2 on in the 1st, 1 in the 2nd, 3 in the 3rd, and 3 in the 4th. And they've got 2 on right now. It's a grand total of 9 runners left, and that 1-0 is hit the other way and foul. Counts even at 1. Well, even if you get a base hit here, you're still could drive home at least 1 run, but it'd be tough to see. 1 ball, 1 strike. In there for strike 2. Took the umpire a little bit of time to make the call on the curveball, but he gave it to him. And again, Grand Rapids is down to their last strike. Getting the first 2 strikes haven't been hard. It's been getting that 3rd one. Now Buckley's faced with the difficult task of doing it. Runner goes. The hit and run is unsuccessful, as that one is hit down the right field line and out over the lights. We'll do the 1-2 again. Brian Portelli, a freshman, 6'2", 192 pounds, from Avondale, Michigan. Played his high school ball at Avondale High School. That pitch is chopped over to 3rd, and it's bobbled and goes into the outfield. 1 run is going to come around to score, and it's 10-4. That's probably going to go as an error on Brandon Kolish. He could not handle that one, and it is. That is the 3rd error of the game on Grand Rapids. that's unfortunate because that's not Buckley's fault. So now we have a conference on the mound, and we will have a new pitcher when we return. Buckley's day is done. We'll have the final numbers on him, and we'll have a new pitcher when we come back. It is 10-4 Lackawanna. This is the NJCAA Division II Baseball World Series presented by Advanced Pierre Foods.
It's the annual Memorial Day blowout sale. Now's the time to buy at the Mattress Hub. The deals are crazy. Save up to $600 on Tempur-Pedic's most popular model, the Cloud Supreme, plus free delivery. Save up to $400 off on Certus iComfort. On select mattresses, buy a bed, get a bed free. All this plus up to 4 years interest-free financing and a 1-year comfort guarantee. It's a Memorial Day sale you don't want to miss. Only at the Mattress Hub.
Follow the cheap sheet to the Mattress Hub.
Let me tell you about my college, Lackawanna College.
A 2-year, highly respected college that can prepare you for a career or to move on to a 4-year program.
5 regional locations, over 30-degree programs, and more.
I'm a future paramedic who found my future at Lackawanna College. Call or visit today and we'll help you find your future.
It's 10-4. There's still 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. So far, 1 run has been scored in this inning by Grand Rapids. Came on an error from the third baseman, Brandon Kolish, who couldn't handle the hit by Brian Portelli, who continues to be a problem for Lackawanna. The new pitcher is Cody Patton. Patton is a sophomore, 6'1", 190 pounds, from Pittston, Pennsylvania. And Patton's numbers, he is in 10 games, he's pitched 24 2/3 innings. He's given up 11 runs, 5 of them earned, 20 hits, 33 strikeouts, 11 walks, has a 1.82 ERA, 2 wins, 1 loss. The winner of this game will move on and play Catawba Valley Community College tomorrow at 3:30. The loser goes home. The first pitch is a strike right down the middle from Patton to E.J. Grouchowalski. Now you have runners on first and second with 2 outs. Patton's second pitch throws some high heat there, and Grouchowalski can't catch up to it. It's 0-2. Now can he do what Buckley was unable to do, and that's get that 3rd strike. He checks the runner at second and fires away, misses low for ball 1. By the way, Buckley's numbers, 5 innings, 5 2/3 innings pitched, gave up 7 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them earned, 4 walks, 7 Ks. But he is responsible for the 2 men on base right now. Here's the 1-2. Chopped and foul down the first base line. Kind of fooled me. It made me think it was still in play, but it went foul. Patton again looking over at second. Here's the 1-2, low and in the dirt, stopped for ball 2. 8 runs scored by Lackawanna in the first. All but one of their batters scored in that inning. And they also got 6 hits in the inning. But Grand Rapids has been just slowly chipping away at this. They're still down by 6. They got to take advantage here. 2-2 the count. Make it 3-2 as Patton misses low and inside. One of the things that has kept Grand Rapids in this game has been their patience behind home plate, and it is showing itself right now. Last time Grouchowalski was up, by the way, he grounded into a 6-4-3 double play with the bases loaded, and he swings and misses at this one to end the inning. And we are through 6. Lackawanna continues to lead by 6, 10-4. Top of the 7th comes your way next. This is the NJCAA Division II Baseball World Series presented by Advanced Pierre Foods. We've played 6 very odd and ugly innings here in our third game of our triple header at David Allen Memorial Ballpark. It's Lackawanna 10, Grand Rapids Community College 4. 10 runs, 11 hits, 3 errors for Lackawanna. 4 runs, 7 hits, 3 errors for Grand Rapids. 6 combined errors, and already we'll start this inning off with a hit batsman as Chris Moles is hit on the leg and goes down. Well, that's the second time tonight Chris Moles has been hit by a pitch. He is 2 for 3. He's been hit by a pitch twice, and he has an RBI sac fly, and he's scored 2 runs. What a night he's had. Now Mike Accardi to the plate. He is 2 for 4. Reached on an error and struck out. And he has scored 2 runs as well. He's ahead in the count, 1-0. By the way, the 8-run rule is in effect after 7, as that throw over to first was an awkward one, and it hit the back of Moles as he was sliding back into first. If that ball wouldn't have hit him, it might have gotten behind the first baseman, and Moles probably could have taken second. Levance Anderson is in the on-deck circle. The top portion of the batting order has done a lot of damage tonight for Lackawanna. You have Moles, who's 2 for 3. You have Accardi, who's 2 for 4. And Accardi lays down a bunt over to first base. And Grachowalski makes the play and throws over to get him barely in time, as Accardi, with his speed, almost avoided being thrown out. But he is retired, and there's 1 away. That moves Moles to second. Levance Anderson now to the plate in the top of the 7th inning. This ballpark, obviously a very beautiful landmark of Enid, but it looks even better at nighttime, in my opinion, under the lights. It's a nice day. It's a nice evening with it when it's not 95 degrees and humid. Temperatures cooled down to 79 right now. The first pitch to Levance Anderson is inside for ball 1. Runner on second. Anderson. Runner goes. That pitch is off the outside part of the plate, and he slides in, and he will be safe. Chris Moles is in there safely. He barely got under the tag, but he did. Lots of dirt flew up at the end of the play. So now he's 90 feet away from giving Lackawanna their 11th run of the night. It's a 1-1 count to Anderson, with Matt Fry in the on-deck circle. Here's the 1-1, and it beans Anderson. There's been a lot of batters being hit tonight, and it hasn't just been one of those, oh, I've been hit, I'll walk down to first. Like, we're talking violent hits to the back, to the leg, everywhere. It hasn't been pretty, and that's already the second player that's been hit in this inning alone. So now you have runners on the corners with 1 out. That brings up Matt Fry. And again, if Lackawanna can score 2 runs and then get up by 8 and then close out Grand Rapids in the 7th, then the game will be over. And they don't allow any runs in the bottom of the 7th, and the 8-run rule will be in effect. But they got to take advantage here in the top of the 7th right now. Throw over to first, not in time. Anderson clapping his hands. He loves it. He loves this gamesmanship between he and Austin Stevens, the pitcher. Stevens checks over there, fires. That one ripped through the gap between short and third. It's going to be 11-4, and they're going to be runners on first and second as Moles comes home to score. RBI single for Levance Anderson, or for Matt Fry, excuse me. He had an RBI walk in the first inning. He got walked when the bases were loaded. So that's his second. That's actually his third RBI tonight. That brings up Josh White, the catcher, who is 1 for 4 so far. And it's 11-4, and we're going to have another pitching change for Grand Rapids. And you got to figure, why not? You got to pull out all the stops now, because if you don't, your season's going to end. So we'll have a new pitcher when we return. 1 out here in the top of the 7th, 11-4 Lackawanna. This is the NJCAA World Series Division II, presented by Advanced Pierre Foods.
It's the annual Memorial Day blowout sale. Now's the time to buy at the Mattress Hub. The deals are crazy. Save up to $600 on Tempur-Pedic's most popular model, the Cloud Supreme, plus free delivery. Save up to $400 off on Certus iComfort. On select mattresses, buy a bed, get a bed free. All this plus up to 4 years interest-free financing and a 1-year comfort guarantee. It's a Memorial Day sale you don't want to miss. Only at the Mattress Hub.
Follow the cheap sheet to the Mattress Hub.
It's Northcutt's Memorial Day sale. Get great rebates, Memorial Day bonus cash, liquidation discounts, and 0% for up to 72 months. New 2012 Chevy Silverado 1500 extended cab, only $26,749. Or a 1500 Crew, just $24,897. 2012 Chevy Sonic, just $15,499. Get pre-approved online at northcuttauto.com or call toll-free to lock in your best deal. Northcutt Chevrolet Buick Enid, your shortcut to a great deal.
The new pitcher for Grand Rapids is Eric Musselman. Musselman on the year. He's a sophomore, 6 foot, 180 pounds, from Vicksburg, Michigan. And Musselman, when he's pitched for them, he has a 4.01 ERA, a 2-2 record, and his opponents are batting .274 against him, but he has struck out 37 and only walked 12. Which is good, because a walk is the last thing you want to see him give up right now, and he throws a strike to his first batter, Josh White. Oh, 0-1 the count. Runners on first and second. It's 11-4 and strike 2. 0-2 the count. White singled and scored back in the first. A .297 hitter on the season. I'm sure that number will go down after tonight, and it will, as he swings and misses for a strikeout. Make that strikeout number 38 on the year for Eric Musselman, in his first tonight. 11-4. Lackawanna can put the 8-run rule in effect, but they've got to drive home a run here, and it's going to be up to Tom Crimmy to do that with 2 outs. If he stays alive, Cameron Johnson is awaiting in the on-deck circle. First pitch to Crimmy is inside for ball 1. Now, Crimmy has reached on an error and scored back in the first. He's been walked twice, and he has been one of the batters who's been plunked tonight. He was hit back in the 6th. But if he's able to put the ball in play and get it in the outfield, it may be an 8-run lead. And strike 1 as that pitch goes on the outside corner. Again, here comes the train. And here is the 1-1. 2-1 the count. Well, remember how I said the train doesn't usually come by when there's a critical moment in the game? This isn't one of those times. That's what Eric Musselman gets to deal with on the mound. Checks the runner at second. 2-1 count. Here's the pitch. Hits the outside corner for strike 2. Tom Crimmy wasn't happy with that. But now you have 2s across the board with 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Runner goes from second, chopped foul down the first base line. We'll do the 2-2 over again. Both runners win. Still a very decent crowd out here tonight. Of course, a lot of anxious Lackawanna fans. Lackawanna team that's ranked 3rd in the country. Musselman steps off the bag and checks the runner. 12 hits in the game for Lackawanna on 11 runs. Crimmy awaits like he has patiently done all evening at the plate. And here's the 2-2, fouled down the left field line. And it takes a hard bounce off of that hill and rolls toward the parking lot. Whatever it does, I hope it just doesn't head in the direction of the Suddenlink building. That's where I'm parked. And here's the 2-2 again. This time it's low and it gets off the leg of Duke. The throw down the third, no. And the runners are safe everywhere. Second and third now. Wild pitch comes back to bite Musselman there, and the count is full. Now a base hit could drive home easily 1, maybe 2. But it wouldn't be surprising to see Crimmy walked here. He's been walked twice tonight already. 3-2 on its way. Ripped foul. Just foul. It was just to the right of that white line. Lefty digs back in. We'll do the 3-2 once more. High and inside for ball 3. And for the 3rd time tonight, Crimmy walks down to first. Now you got the bases loaded with 2 down. Cameron Johnson to the plate. Now Johnson's had his problems tonight. He's 0 for 3 with a walk. So Musselman comes in the game. He fans his first batter, then walks his second. Still 2 outs. Now all the bases are loaded. Swing and a miss at the first pitch by Johnson. Johnson is a .331 hitter. I'm sure that average will not be what it is after tonight. It'll be good for us to spend our Memorial Day with you, which is what we'll be doing tomorrow. Here's the 0-1, low and in the dirt. Good stop by Duke again. Approaching the 10 o'clock hour here local time. This game got started about 15 minutes late. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ripped back to the screen and foul. 11-4. Lackawanna still leads by 7 in the top of inning number 7. But they're down to their last strike to Cameron Johnson. Here's the 1-2. Low and a good stop by Tyler Duke again. He has been busy there. This is the 4th pitcher we have seen tonight from Grand Rapids. Twos across the board. High and outside for ball 3. Well, that has to be the last ball he throws, because if he throws one more, it's a run scored. And that wouldn't be the first time tonight that we have seen an RBI walk. We saw it back in the first. Johnson awaiting patiently the 3-2. Bases loaded. Here it is. Runners go. Fouled off. It's interesting looking at the 2 dugouts and seeing the starkly different body language. Everybody on Lackawanna's bench standing up, cheering, extremely excited. Grand Rapids looks a little lifeless right now. Here's the 3-2. Runners go. Ball 4. It's 12-4. Second RBI walk tonight, and the second walk of the night for Cameron Johnson. Now the 8-run rule is in effect. If Lackawanna can take care of business in the bottom of the 7th against Grand Rapids, this game will be over. And the first pitch to Brandon Kolish is outside for ball 1. Frankelvin Reyes is in the on-deck circle. And again, the bases remain loaded. The 1-0 clips the outside corner for strike 1, evening the count. It's 1 ball and 1 strike with 2 down. Kolish, a .270 hitter this year. And he is 2 for 4 tonight. And he takes ball 2 low and away. John Herrick with you live from David Allen Memorial Ballpark here in downtown Enid. A beautiful night for baseball. Not so beautiful for Grand Rapids. Here's the 2-1. Chopped back over to short, fielded on a hop, flipped to second for the force, and the inning is over. So Kolish grounds into the fielder's choice. 3 runners left on, 1 run scored, 1 hit, and no errors. But it's 12-4 at the end of 6 1/2. And if Lackawanna can close it out in the bottom of the 7th, they will end this game early. This is the NJCAA Division II World Series presented by Advanced Pierre Foods.
My future is in natural gas technology.
My future is in teaching.
I'm a future business leader.
My future is in computers and IT security.
My future is in diagnostic sonography.
My future is in human services, but there are a lot of majors to choose from.
Lackawanna College offers over 30 degree programs at 5 locations.
Lackawanna College helped define our futures. Call or visit today and find your future at Lackawanna College.
The thrill of victory on the baseball field is a direct result of the hours of practice in the batting cage and the bullpen. Bottom line, it takes hard work when nobody's watching to join your team on the big stage as you compete for a World Series title. Advanced Pierre Food Company believes in supporting all Enid sports programs and local events, and they are proud to sponsor the NJCAA World Series. Advanced Pierre Food would like to wish the players, coaches, and fans good luck in the JUCO World Series. Let's play ball from Advanced Pierre Food Company. Well, Lackawanna's season looks like it could go on. Grand Rapids is hanging in the balance. If they don't get something going here, their season is over. They're down 8, 12-4 in the bottom of the 7th. So if they can't get at least 1 run in this inning, their season will end. And it is Ryan Manning, Steve Ayala, and Tyler Duke. It's up to those 3 guys to get something going. And actually, I think we're seeing a pinch hitter for Ryan Manning here. And we are. It is Christian Linisic. Pulling out all the stops right now. And he's quickly ahead 2-0, and he skies this one down the line. Fair territory. Leaning back and falling down is the first baseman, and he makes the catch. What a play by Chris Moles. We've seen a heck of a lot of defensive gems out there today, and that was one of them. And now it'll be Steve Ayala, so no pinch hitter for him with 1 out. 1 out, you mean 1 out, singular, not plural, John. First pitch is a strike on the inside, 0-1 the count. It's just incredible to think how different this game has gone when you look at the history of these 2 programs. Lackawanna has never been to the World Series until this year. Grand Rapids, on the other hand, has been a tournament staple. They've been here so many times. 1-1 count to Ayala. Clips the outside corner for strike 2. Grand Rapids, 5 national championships, last one coming in 2005, and this is their 10th World Series appearance. That's the most appearances of any other team in Division II. The 1-2 swung on and missed. Down goes Ayala. So now it's up to Tyler Duke. Season hanging in the balance. If he can't get anything here, if he gets out, season is over. It's that simple. First pitch to him, strike one. Cody Patton again still out there for Lackawanna. He'll probably end up getting the save if that happens. Tyler Buckley will end up most likely will get the win. Next pitch to him, 0-2, just like that on that hanging curveball. So now the situation is really dire for Duke. He's down to his last strike. He twirls his bat twice like he likes to do. Hits the home plate. Wind up, pitch, low and in the dirt. 1-2 now. Should he stay alive? The 1-2 on its way. Check swing, appeal down to first. They say he didn't go. 2-2 the count. Should he stay alive? Pinch hitter Drew Dunbar is in the on-deck circle. Twos across the board, but that pitch misses outside to run the count full from Cody Patton. He's not thrilled with the call. 3 balls and 2 strikes to him. The payoff. Right down the middle and gone looking is Tyler Duke. Grand Rapids season is over. Lackawanna will advance, and they will play tomorrow against Catawba Valley Community College. They started this game with an 8-0 barrage in the first inning, and they win it in 7. And 2 straight days in a row, Grand Rapids loses via the 8-run rule after 7 innings. Tough way to see your season come to an end with 2 consecutive losses in the JUCO World Series. We'll take a brief break and come back to wrap up your scoring when we return. This is the NJCAA Division II World Series presented by Advanced Pierre Foods.
It's Northcutt's Memorial Day sale. Get great rebates, Memorial Day bonus cash, liquidation discounts, and 0% for up to 72 months. New 2012 Chevy Silverado 1500 extended cab, only $26,749. Or a 1500 Crew, just $24,897. 2012 Chevy Sonic, just $15,499. Get pre-approved online at northcuttauto.com or call toll-free to lock in your best deal. Northcutt Chevrolet Buick Enid, your shortcut to a great deal.
To book your Enid getaway, go to visitenid.org or call 877-999-ENID.
Lackawanna gets the early victory over Grand Rapids. They win it 12-4. Celebration is on for them in right field. They are ecstatic. Big day for them. They bounced back after that heartbreaking loss to Scottsdale last night, 6-5. They win this one 12-4, 8-run rule in 7 innings. And for the second straight day, Grand Rapids falls via the 8-run rule. They lost to Western Oklahoma 9-1 in game 1 for them yesterday, and then they lose via the same rule today, 12-4. Here's how things played out. Back in the first inning, Lackawanna got things started with 8 runs. It was unbelievable how fast the game started. 2 singles from Chris Moles and Mike McCarty, then a walk from Levance Anderson, then an RBI walk from Matt Fry, then an RBI single from Josh White to get 3, and then a reach on an error by Tom Crimmy to get the 4th run, and then Brandon Kolish with an RBI single to drive home 2 more. Then Frank Elvin Reyes, that made it 6-0. Then Frank Elvin Reyes reaches on an error but drives home a run. That makes it 7-0. And then a sac fly by Chris Moles to make it 8-0. And that's where all the scoring came from there. Now, Grand Rapids did answer with 3 runs in the third. An RBI single from Tyler Duke drove home 2 runs, and then he scored on a wild pitch later in the inning. And then after that, we saw 2 more runs added by Lackawanna in the third. Chris Moles was hit by a pitch to start the inning, and then Mike McCarty reached on an error, and then Anderson drove home another run with an RBI single. And then so did Matt Fry. Matt Fry, he got on base, and then Matt Fry drove home 2 more runs in that inning with another RBI single. He had an RBI walk in the first. That made it 10-3 at that point. Lackawanna was on top. Then Grand Rapids added 1 more in the bottom of the 6th, but it wasn't enough as 2 more runs were added on by Lackawanna in the 7th. And one of them came on a walk, an RBI walk, but then an RBI single by Matt Fry before that. He was busy. He batted home 3 runs in this game, actually 4. An RBI single, then an RBI walk made it 12-4 in that inning. And then a gem was pitched by Cody Patton on 1 1/3 innings of relief, and he gets the save. The win goes to Tyler Buckley of Lackawanna. He gets his 10th win of the season. He improves to 10-1. The loss goes to Anthony Alarcon. He was the one who gave up the 8 runs in the first inning. He falls to 4-5 on the season. And Cody Patton, by getting the save, got his, I'm not sure how many saves that is for him on the year, but he got the save nonetheless. And it is 12-4. Lackawanna gets the win. So the bracket looks like this for tomorrow. Lackawanna will play Catawba Valley Community College at 3:30 in the afternoon. The winner will move on and play at 3:30 on Tuesday. The other games to watch out for, the day gets started with Scottsdale and Western Oklahoma at noon. I'll be here to do that game at noon tomorrow. And then at 3:30, it'll be the Catawba Valley versus Lackawanna game. And then at 7 o'clock, the day ends with Heartland and Madison back in the winner's bracket at 7 o'clock. Matt Howell will be back to do that one. Tom will be doing the 3:30 one. Tom Nelson will be doing the 3:30 one there. But you can tune us in 3 different ways. You can go listen to us on the radio at 1390 AM KCRC or online at ctvsports.com or via the NJCAA's website at njcaa.org and watch our video stream, which thousands of viewers have done throughout the weekend and will probably continue to do all throughout next week. But we'll pause one more time, take a brief break, and when we come back, we'll give out our Wings to Go Players of the Game. Wings to Go on the corner of Cleveland and Garriott. Simply great wings. They got 6 flat screen TVs. Great place to watch a game. We'll give out our Wings to Go Players of the Game, 1 from each team when we return. This is the NJCAA Division II World Series presented by Advanced Pierre Food. Well, for those of you watching online on NJCAA.org, joy and happiness everywhere. Of course, a lot of the Lackawanna members enjoying a laugh or two. Why not? It was a night to remember for them. They win at 12-4 over Grand Rapids Community College. They move on. Grand Rapids will see their season come to an end. And Grand Rapids season ends with a record of I'm trying to find their record here real quick. Don't quite have it in front of me, but their season ends nonetheless. Our 2 wings to go players of the game. Austin Stevens, I'm giving it to him for Grand Rapids Community College. He was the gem for them offensively. He came in and pitched 2 2/3 innings of relief. He gave up 3 hits. He only gave up a run. It wasn't earned, and he pitched a gem despite being put in a huge hole by his 2 previous pitchers that gave up 10 runs, and he did a pretty good job in relief. So I'm going to give it to Austin Stevens. Not only did he pitch 2 2/3 innings of relief, he did not he struck out 2, and he only gave up 3 hits, excuse me. But he did strike out 2, and he only allowed 1 run. And Austin Stevens probably has a pretty good career ahead of him because he only gave up. He just did a pretty good job on the mound, I thought, in what was a pretty difficult situation, having to come in and pitch in relief. And he's a freshman, 6'4", 185 pounds. He has a good career ahead of him for Grand Rapids Community College, benefiting himself in a big way, getting some great experience in a World Series atmosphere, a tough place to play, a tough environment to be thrown into when you're down as much as you're down early on. So he gets our wings to go player of the game gift certificate. For Lackawanna College, for me, it had to be Matt Fry. He started things off with the RBI walk in the first, then he had the RBI single in the third, and then he had another RBI single in the 7th. He just made all kinds of plays on both the offensive and defensive side. He gets our Wings to Go Player of the Game award and gets a free combo meal from Wings to Go. So those are your 2 Wings to Go players of the game. Again, Wings to Go at 2316 West Garriott and Enid at 58. Their number, give them a call, 580-237-9464. Wings to Go, simply great wings. Again, let's just wrap up our 3 final scores from today before we send you on your way and get you ready for tomorrow. The big shocker from today was LSU Eunice, the #1 team in Division II, goes down to Des Moines Area Community College 4-3, and they are in the losers bracket. So Des Moines will play Tuesday with the win. They'll play Tuesday at 7 o'clock, and then at 3:30, Central Community College of Rhode Island saw their season come to an end when Catawba Valley beat them 11-5. And then we end our day with this game, Lackawanna knocking off Grand Rapids 12-4 in 7 innings via the 8-run rule. LSU Eunice, by the way, with the loss, they will play on Tuesday afternoon at noon. So with the loss, LSU Eunice moves to noon. That's when they'll play that game, and they will await the loser of game number 8. So whoever loses between Western Oklahoma and Scottsdale tomorrow will play LSU Eunice on Tuesday. So our broadcast schedule for tomorrow looks like this. At noon, it's Western Oklahoma and Scottsdale. I'll be there doing that game. Tom will have the 3:30 game between Catawba Valley Community College at 3:30 against Lackawanna, and then at 7 o'clock, Matt Howell will close our evening with Heartland and Madison at 7 o'clock. That's our schedule. Again, all games can be heard on ESPN Radio 1390, KCRC, CTBsports.com, or via the video stream at NJCAA.org. For my producer engineer back in the Enid Studios, Darren Carlton, and our 2 members of our video crew that did a fantastic job, Tom Nelson and his brother Mike Nelson, I'm John Herrick saying so long. I'll talk to you tomorrow at noon right here from David Allen Memorial Ballpark. This has been the NJCAA Division II World Series presented by Advanced Pierre Foods.